Welcome back, True Seeker. It is Sunday, January 25th, 2026, and Super Bowl 60 is set. We had a glorious day today, taking advantage of rig sports. NFL, solid. NBA, even better, capitalized on two major upsets. We had the underdog Raptors, 11.5 point underdogs versus the Thunder to upset, and also thought the Pelicans could beat the Spurs today, and they sure did. Torch the NHL again. Shame on you trolls. You trolls are so bad. Who do you work for? God, how much you get paid to troll me? Some guy just spammed me about, I just signed up today and lost so much money. Man, if you lost money today on my picks, you must be a special kind of special Olympian. Because, again, what was my top scenario for the Patriots Broncos game? It was the Patriots to win. And if you read my notes, what was the top scenario for the Rams Seahawks game? It was the Seahawks. Not to mention, before the game kicked off, I gave out all kinds of updates on why the Seahawks looked even better because that game was close and tight. But they told you right at the end of the Patriots game. The Patriots won with just 206 yards of offense. That's the Seattle area code. And like I say, all of these games are scripted together. If you guys want to know just how scripted the entire season is, the first game today in Denver, Colorado, for the entire season, including the playoffs, only 151 home wins had been accrued. Only 151 home wins. That is the 36th prime number. Of course, the Patriots won Super Bowl 36. Their kicker, number 36, who had the ultimate 36 ritual after the capture of Maduro, 36 years to the day of Noriega. Again, he's a Venezuelan, born one day before the Maduro capture. Again, for those of you guys who don't get it, like I've been teaching you about for over a decade, sports is scripted, news affairs are scripted, world affairs are scripted. This is the new world order, as George Herbert Walker Bush told you in 1990. The people that run the new world order are part of these secret societies that, again, give you your bread and circus with these rigged sports games so that you stay content enough to keep grinding away at your life day by day and paying these people a huge percentage of your blood, sweat, and tears through your labor. That's what this is, and that's why we really expose this. But we also like to pat our pockets since we all got bills to pay, especially in this day and age where things are getting more and more expensive. But yeah, we'll go through what a fine day we had. But yeah, just hearing that 206 at the end, I mean, pretty much the game was set. Just like last week, I thought the Seahawks could beat the Niners by 15 points. They beat them by more than that, but had they won by 15 last week, they would have been plus 206 in point differential for the year on the 206th day of Mike McDonald's age, the coach of the Seahawks, who's from Boston. That was something we talked about a lot. Mike McDonald from Boston, just like Mendoza, the Heisman winners from Boston. And what do you know? You got the Boston Patriots playing the Seahawks again. And what did I tell you guys last week for free in the public video I put out at halftime with Brady really talking up Super Bowl 49? Because we're getting the rematch of Super Bowl 49 11 years later in the game of 11 on 11 with the star player on the Seahawks being number 11, who really is an impressive receiver. Again, that Jackson Smith and Jeba, or however you say his last name for the Seahawks, he's how every NFL receiver should be. That's what I would expect you to be if you're in the NFL. You know, you make great catches, you battle for the ball, you catch it, you're super fast, quick, amazing agility. That's what I would expect every NFL receiver to be. As someone who once played receiver themselves, as you know, the Great White Hope. When I watch these NFL guys drop the ball with these grip gloves, I'm just like, what in the hell is wrong with these guys? Who would ever pay these guys any money to play on their football team? They can't even catch the damn ball. But not Jackson Smith and Jeba. That guy battles for the ball and takes it every time. And I would expect every receiver in the NFL to be just like him. If you're on the level getting paid that kind of money, that's how it should look. But anyway, we're going to go through just how scripted all of this is. You know, last week I even showed you guys for free. I told you today, these okay, here, let's go over just a few things real quick. Again, things that we need to know. I've been telling you guys for free the last 3 times, or the last 2 times, now 3 straight times. The last 2 times we'd gotten a new pope, and now for the 3rd time, the Seahawks went to a Super Bowl. Super Bowl 40, they lost to the Steelers. Super Bowl 48, they beat the Broncos. Super Bowl 60, now after the first American Pope, Pope Leo from Chicago, where the NFL was born. And you see how the score's 31-27 in the Seahawks game? That's 58 points, right? Like Pope Leo became Pope Leo on May 8th, 5-8. You might recall Pope Francis equaled 58. So does Pope Leo the 14th. It equals 58. You get a 58-point game for the guy who became Pope on May 8th. And if you go back and watch my video when he became Pope, I showed how he was the first Augustinian Pope. Augustine to Hippo equals 85, like National Football League, like the Bears won their only Super Bowl in the 85-86 season. And I said, the Bears are going to win a Super Bowl for this Pope. It's coming. And you know what the big Super Bowl number is, right? 41. I just told you Pope Leo XIV equals 58. That's when you run the alphabetic order forwards. When you run it in reverse, Pope Leo XIV equals 41. Next season's going to be 41 years since the Bears won a Super Bowl. And it's Super Bowl 61 hosted by the Rams, where the Bears season just ended 61 days after Caleb Williams' birthday versus the Rams, which, by the way, is the 18th prime number, like Bears equals 18, like how they stayed on 18 postseason wins, and their season ended exactly 18 weeks after the Pope's birthday. That means this Sunday was 19 weeks after the Pope's birthday. Seattle improved to 19-19 in the postseason all time with ref number 19 working the game. Seattle, the only city in America, the only major city in America that equals 19, just like Cootie's 19 started there, and also not by accident because that was also part of the script. Again, if you guys are new here, we showed you how all the sports were scripted around Cootie's 19 at the time. And remember, the only league that didn't get delayed was the NFL. The NFL was immune to Cootie's 19. Remember, they had to delay the NBA season, and they lined it up for Father-Daughter Day. The Lakers won the finals on Father-Daughter Day, the first time the finals ever ended in October. By the way, shout out to the people sending over tips today. I know there'd be a lot more tips in my community if you guys just would have listened. I know there would have been a lot more. Everybody was trying to call in and take the Broncos today, which I found really weird because I told you guys in the season to put in a future for the Patriots. They had the best in-season Super Bowl ritual. Again, they picked up the 106th home win of the year in the 106th season. And by the way, by the Seahawks just beating the Rams, do you know how many games the Rams have won all time in their history in Los Angeles? Let me just show you some things like this. You got to use a website like Football Reference. Check this out. Shout out to my man who gave us this piece of intel for using this website. If you go right here, you can scroll down to all the different cities the Rams have been in. You see how the Rams have won 96 games in the regular season and 10 in the postseason? 10 in the postseason, 96 in the regular season. Is 96 plus 10 106? Did the Rams season just end on 106 all-time wins in Los Angeles for the 106th season? Yeah, it did. It did. Did the Patriots win 10-7 today? Did Brady go to 10 Super Bowls and win 7 rings? Yeah, he did. He did. How many passing yards did Drake May have at halftime? Did he have 41 yards? How many years have I been here telling you guys for free to watch the halftime box score? And those stats are the giveaways. The halftime box score week after week are giveaways. Super Bowl 41. That's the ultimate Super Bowl number. Drake May, 41 yards at the half. They put it up on the screen as the second half was ending, and they put it in big red font. Drake May on 41 yards. And they talked about it like it was quite disappointing despite the bad weather. Not for people who know the code. That's the Super Bowl number. And sure enough, Drake May went on his way to the Super Bowl. And, just to be even more clear, the Patriots just picked up their 40th postseason win all time over the Broncos. Again, these are the 4 base ciphers. You might have noticed that Drake May finished the game with 86 passing yards, had 41 at the half, finished with 86. Again, the 4 base ciphers. Alphabetic order with numerology, reverse alphabetic order with numerology. And again, you have all these goofy disinformation agents around trying to say that this isn't a system, this isn't real, we're just making things up. No, I'm demonstrating now for going on over a decade the power of this information and how it allows you to see through the scripted news, the scripted sports, the rigged elections, the rigged wars, all of it. And we're calling it out in advance year after year as well. But yeah, here, let's just go over this box score because Stidham's box score, who was drafted by the Patriots, made me laugh my ass off. Do you see how Drake May had 80? Again, Drake May had 86 yards versus the Broncos. Do you see Stidham, 133 yards? Didn't I just show you guys last week that today's game was 19 weeks after the Pope's birthday, or 133 days, and he was the 133rd pick of the draft by the Patriots? Who he gave that nice, what was that just total dumbass play where the backward pass that probably should have been a defensive touchdown, but they ended up scoring moments later. Yeah, if you watch the game, you know what I'm talking about. I was like, what are you doing? I mean, you're giving the team that drafted you the ball back down. I mean, and that's exactly what it was doing. By the way, do you see the 31 pass attempts too? There's just so many little intricacies. You know, Denver's got that 31 connection. But yeah, just to show you that Stidham was the 133rd pick of the draft. We pointed this out. And see, this was clutch information because remember they announced that Bo Nix had a broken ankle, which was obviously fake news. Again, like we told you guys, the Knicks, the New York Knicks, who have the same color jerseys as the Broncos, they were in the NBA Finals when the Bronco chase was going on in 94. Again, the season began on 9-4. In 94, you had the OJ Bronco chase, the Buffalo Bill. The real Buffalo Bill died in Denver in history on January 10th, which was the start date of this year's playoffs. But the Bills' season ends with the Broncos. If you go back to the day of the OJ chase, the Knicks won the game in the finals that day over Houston. They lost the finals, but they won the day of the OJ chase with 91 points. Bo Nix went 9-1 at home this year, and then he's out of here with the fake injury. But yeah, Stidham, the 133rd overall pick, which isn't an arbitrary number. You know, football's 133. I've told you this a million times. The NFL was born on September 17th on the 133rd birthday of the Constitution. Government's also 133. In this case, so is Colorado. You might know that Colorado had the first homosexual governor. I believe he's still the governor. Homosexual equals Colorado. Men in tights, bent over, tight ends, Jake Dick Butt. Anyway, Bronco fans remember him. By the way, he fell to the 145th pick of the draft. You see how Catholic is 145 and 71? There's 46 books in the Catholic Old Testament, 145 more chapters than Protestant Bibles. But Jake Butt fell to the 145th pick, going to the Denver Broncos, 71. And let's go back to that box score with the 71 in mind. Let's see. Yeah, Ramondre Stevenson was the leading rusher, 71 yards versus the Broncos. Notice R.J. Harvey had 37 yards, the leading rusher for the Broncos. Patriots equals 37. 37, the 12th prime. Patriots en route to their 12th Super Bowl in tribute to Tom Brady. Matt Collins. See, this was another big clue about today. Matt Collins, notice it's 131 days after his birthday. He went to North Carolina like Drake May, like Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick born on the 106th day of the year, a little ritual for the 106th season. But you see that? 131 days after Matt Collins' birthday, North Carolina product, Super Bowl, 131. He had a nice game today. Again, Drake May had 41 yards at the half. 112. When the Patriots picked up the 106th win of the year, home win this year, it was December 1st in primetime. That's why it was easy to see that they got the 106th home win because they did it in a primetime game on December 1st. They became 11-2 in that game in Vrabel's 112th game as a coach, another Super Bowl number. And I can't remember if there was a 49 piece, but there was this messed up tribute to Donna Summer, who was sacrificed, who's from the Boston area after they lost in Super Bowl 46 to the Giants. Here, just to show you, we documented it. Their player, Christian, what's his face? He came out that game before the game was played wearing this Donna Summer t-shirt. And we're like, what the hell would Christian Gonzalez know about Donna Summer, the queen of disco? Look how messed up this stuff is. She died on the 137th day of the year. Her name equals 137. She died 102 days after the Patriots lost in the Super Bowl to the Giants. Her full name equals 102. The Patriots came into that game with Christian Gonzalez before the game being interviewed in this t-shirt. And it was a t-shirt of her album, She Works Hard for the Money, which equals 112. Like they went from 10-2 to 11-2. And again, just major ritual. Kind of stuff we take advantage of week after week because we do this 7 days a week. We don't take days off. And again, you guys, I mean, You'll be hard pressed to find anybody with a better work ethic than me. I've had a little one this whole year, and it hasn't been easy. She doesn't sleep through the night, major sleep deprivation, but I haven't missed a day. I've been here every single day, just like always. Just like I've been here every single day for going on 13 years since I started doing this in 2013. Okay, so yeah, that was that box score. Something that made me laugh: the Sam Darnold. By the way, about 131, Brady's part owner of the Raiders now, and again, Brady's career has a lot to do with the Raiders because he would have never won his first Super Bowl if the NFL didn't make up new rules on the spot with the tuck rule and all that bullshit. We all know that was a fumble. Adam Vinatieri, though, that was some impressive field goal, unless they're just totally using technology. But Pete Carroll was hired this year 131 days after his birthday. And remember, Pete Carroll coached the Jets, the Patriots, and the Seahawks in the NFL. Sam Darnold started with the Jets, now the Seahawks quarterback. And now we have Seahawks versus Patriots, with Brady really talking that game up last week at halftime while the score was 24-6. Brady was calling the Niners Seahawks game. By the way, the Seahawks won that game 6-41. Kind of looks like 641. Tonight, the Rams picked up their 641st franchise loss. That's how scripted all this is. Like I said, when the Broncos lost, it kept home teams. Whoops, I didn't mean Denver Broncos. I meant Denver, Colorado. When the Broncos lost today, they kept home teams on 151 wins for the year. That's how scripted the whole season is, which means the Seahawks got the 152nd win for home teams. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'll confirm this on Patreon. I do believe that the Rams losing tonight, I do believe that was the 131st that kept road teams on 131 wins. Yeah, so the Patriots picked up the 131st road win, and they're on 40 postseason wins right now. You know what I'm saying? Just for the record. For the record, I'll confirm that on Patreon, but I'm pretty sure that is 100% correct. I might be a hair off. I'm going to have to double check the 131 thing. It's not far. I know the 151 is true, though. Okay, let me flip over to the other box score. Yeah, here we go. Darnold had 201 passing yards at the half. And I'm going to show you why that matters. The road to 201, Tom Brady. Let me see if I can pull this up. The march to 201, that's what it was. So Brady, ESPN wrote this article about Brady. Now, remember, Brady was born 201 years after America and the Illuminati. Giselle's born on July 20th, the 201st day of the year. Brady had 201 passing yards in his last Super Bowl win, Super Bowl 55. And don't forget who gave you both teams correctly that year before the season began. We've done it a lot of years. Didn't do it this year, unfortunately. But yeah, they waited for this 201st win to write about this milestone. And he got this win versus the Rams. Now, these are the base ciphers right here. You're not going to see it. You're not going to see it right here. It's in this cipher, which produces the bigger numbers. Jewish gematria, grip is key, Latin. Derek's called it Latin now on his. But Rams 201. Darnold had 201 passing yards at halftime. And again, just about it being all about Brady and Brady's history and Brady's first Super Bowl over St. Louis. Remember what 201's about, you guys. It's about the Jesuit order. And where does that meet the Rams? The Rams used to be in St. Louis. St. Louis University, the Jesuit school, is credited with the first forward pass in football history, beginning the quarterback position. So that even goes back to the Jesuits. And by the way, did you guys see that while it was halftime of the first game today, the Broncos and the Patriots, they put out the trailer for Odyssey with the Trojan horse? It's like a man, a war, a horse. I was like, oh my God. And then they put out the release date is July 17th, like 17/7. But look at Odyssey. 77. The score was 7-7 when they ran the trailer. Brady born in 77. Brady took over after 9/11 and the Patriot Act and 20 years of war. His whole career went through that whole phase that we were just at nonstop war. And isn't Matt Damon associated with the Boston area? Where's Matt Damon from? He's a Boston guy, isn't he? He's like always at Red Sox games. And Sometimes at the Celtics games. Yeah, he's from Massachusetts. Speaking of which, do you know who died a year to the day of the Super Bowl? Dick Geron, longtime NFL coach. Notice he died in Massachusetts. You see that? He died at 74. Like the Patriots just advanced to the Super Bowl in Denver, Colorado, right? And I also noticed that his birthday is October 7th. 10-7, Dick Geron died in Massachusetts a year to the day of the Super Bowl. The winning score for the Patriots, 10-7, like Brady went to 10 Super Bowls and won 7. The Broncos were the first game of Week 10. The score was 10-7. Again, Stidham hadn't played in 107 weeks as a starter. He hadn't thrown a touchdown since October 7th. His first touchdown of the game and his only touchdown of the game was to Cortland Sutton, and it was 107 days after Sutton's birthday. And we had this signed up before the game was played. Notice Sutton went to the SMU Mustangs. The year of the horse is going to start on Jordan's birthday. But yeah, I mean, these are just such perfect scripts. All of this is so perfectly scripted. And I don't know how many more times I can show it to you. You got to love Kenneth Walker, 19 carries today. And we loved him for a touchdown. Number 9 got his 9th touchdown of the year and his 36th of his career. Today's date numerology pass were 18, 36, 72, all breaking down to 9. Let me see here. Seattle, though. The Seattle running back has 19 carries as they become 19-19 in the postseason all time. And if you need this, Seahawks, let's see if it's updated. Seahawks all-time postseason record. StatMuse is on it, 19-19. Again, number 9 and number 14 in the backfield. Pope Leo XIV's birthday. September 14th, like 9 and 14 in the backfield. Here, I just want to show you all this little stuff about this. 9/14/2025. Again, to today, 133 days, which is 19 weeks on the nose. Pretty sure I gave this to you guys for free, too, back in the wild card round. I think in my wild card video stream, I was talking about this. Seattle 82, Seattle 19. They become 8-2 at home. 19-19 in the postseason. The first game, the score was 10-7 with 206 total yards of offense. The Seattle, the 206 area code. I did see him throw up some stats in the game with 44. If you pay attention during games and you know these numbers, you'll see like how they'll bring up the stats at the key moments. You're like, oh, I know why they're finally showing me his stat in big bold print on the screen right now. Also, Seattle, Washington. Remember, it's 94, like Denver's also 94, like they won their only Super Bowl in the 94 season. That was Super Bowl 48. Where Seahawks is 48. Today was Zelensky's 48th birthday. Seattle, they carry around the trident at the Mariners games. Ukraine, their flag or their symbols, the trident. The Rams, Sean McVay with Ukrainian fiance, they won the Super Bowl, and then the war started in Russia, Ukraine right after. But anyway, Seattle, Washington, 68. We loved Cooper Kupp today for his 68th career touchdown. He hadn't scored in 206 weeks in a playoff game, which was Super Bowl 56. And championships also 68. Like this was the NFC Championship. Shout out to Grandpa Kupp. Again, one of the weirdest things that's happened to me since I learned this knowledge is right after Cooper Kupp won Super Bowl 56 with the Rams. My wife, something got spun on her and we had to move. And we had to put up our house for sale in a hurry, which wasn't great because we were living in a retirement community. And the reason we were living there is because it was right across the street from where she went to school. And we had to get a special exception to live in there. They had to have a vote to see if they'd let us live there because it was a retirement community. And they let us live there, which was nice. But then the problem was when we went to sell, you could only sell to seniors. And it was a bad time to sell. The only person who put in an offer to buy the house was Grandpa Kupp, Cooper Kupp's grandpa, first generation NFLer for the family. Mr. Jake Kupp, and he literally bought the house 263 days after Super Bowl 56. 263 is the 56 prime. And on that note, check this out. Pope Leo became the Pope on May 8th, 2025. That was 262 days ago, or a span at 263, which again is the 56th prime. And look at this. Pope equals 56. 3 equals 56. Remember in Super Bowl 56, I liked Odell Beckham, number 3, to score the first touchdown. His birthday's November 5th, the day leaving 56 days left in the year. He got traded from on his birthday from Cleveland to the Rams, not to mention the Rams started in Cleveland. But we had Odell to score the first touchdown of Super Bowl 56. Number 3 he was wearing at the time, 356. And we thought the Bengals with the points was the right move because they were a 3.5-point dog. It was a 3-point game. But now here we are again. Notice Seattle WA is 56. So they're doing this thing with Seattle, Washington, and the Pope. Well, Seattle WA is 56. You might notice it's also 106, like they're in the Super Bowl for the 106th season. And did you see a Jewish rapper from Seattle put out this song called $106? Look at this. This got put out this year. We had a caller call in early in the season. Orange Goodman, Jewish rapper from Seattle, $106. And I want to know who Orange Goodman's daddy is. Let me see if I can pull up the lyrics to this song. Look at this. Because there's something else. All right, he's rapping about $106, and then he multiplies, and now he says, now I've got $212. Okay, look at this. Seattle, Washington, 212. You don't think people know about this knowledge? Orange Goodman, if you're out there, can you call into the stream tonight? Did you learn gematria from yours truly? I remember we were at Yale showing the kids at the Yale campus. Yeah, the Yale campus. We were there showing them this information. Man, they just loved it. We didn't have a single bad conversation with these top of the line students. And that's what like I've always said, you guys, if America was a smarter place, people would be rejoicing in this information. The reason they don't is because it's a nation of, you know what? I got to switch things up because something weird happened the other day. My neighbor came over and he said, hey man, I got to get some pics. Now, some of my neighbors around here know what I'm doing, but I don't talk to all my neighbors. And it was a neighbor I'd never talked to about any of this stuff before. And part of the reason I hadn't said anything to him about it is because he's a former principal. He might be watching right now. A lot of times, like all my cohorts when I started this were mostly fellow teachers because that was my profession at the time. And they all thought I was insane because, you know, they tend to be. And he's from the Seattle area too. And so I wasn't going to share the information with him. But he came over and started talking about it. And he said, my son's been watching all of your videos. Now, I don't know exactly how in the world. By the way, if you're watching right now, if you come over this spring and ask to mow the yard, because now I know that you're entertaining my information, I'll return the favor. You can mow the yard this year, buddy, if you're watching. I'm sure next time he'll come over and ask if he wants to mow lawn, if he's not watching right now. Anyway, I did tell him last year, and I kind of felt bad. I said, I do enjoy mowing my lawn, but just to help out the young buck, sure. Not to mention, we're going to have to negotiate a better price because he did offer $80 to mow the front and backyard, and I thought that was a little steep. Anyway, it did make me think, God, I gotta chill out on some of my rants. I got neighbor kids watching. He's only 15 years old, and last year he would have been 14. Anyway. What else is there to say here? You know, a lot of this box score. Sometimes the box scores are a lot more interesting than others. This one's not quite as interesting, but there was some good stuff there at halftime. And again, the 206 shout out. I think earlier my mind wasn't functioning. Let's see if I can count up those 206 net yards for the Patriots they called out. So it counts as 65 net yards passing because he took 21 yards worth of sacks and 141 rushing. So yeah, that 65 plus 141 is 206. Again, you guys, total scripts. Week after week. Area codes are huge. Didn't the Nets just fall to like 6-17 at home versus Boston in the NBA the other day? Boston's the 6-17 when they just won their last finals over Dallas the other year. They closed it out on June 17th. It's like, what's going on? How did all the Browns and Pittsburgh fans not notice what was going on? I mean, Pittsburgh's the 4-1-2. We had the Browns to upset Pittsburgh that week to make it 4-12. And like we said a month in advance, we said Rodgers is going to finish this year with his last win beating the Ravens. Baltimore Ravens 174. Aaron Rodgers going to pick up his 174th win over the Ravens. Bank on it. Boom. So yeah, that's the NFL, and I would like to just go over the NBA today because we had a great day in the NBA. I didn't get the Pistons Kings game right. I thought teasing the Kings up was going to get it done, but they just got their asses whooped. But that's okay because then we just pretty much crushed it from there. It also was nowhere near my game of the day, but let's just run over some things here. Let's run over some things here. We can start with the NHL. I didn't hit my first game today in the NHL, which is rare. Thought the Maple Leafs could hang with the Avs. We hit a few nice upsets with the Avs in the past week. We had 3 nice ups. 2 of them I was very confident about, and yesterday I said they were worth a shot too, and they got it done again yesterday, the Avs. But today they're more back in avalanche form. They put a beating on the Maple Leafs. So wrong about that one. My top scenario was the Maple Leafs could cover. I was wrong. But we like the Kraken a lot today. And something we talked about in our football stream is the Kraken had this Super Bowl related narrative through the number 60. Notice this is the newer hockey team, right? Kraken equals 60. Seahawks are on their way to Super Bowl 60. Kraken got a nice win today, winning 4-2. Washington's the 42nd state. Brady was talking all about Super Bowl 49, which we're getting a rematch of. That's where Brady became 4-2 in Super Bowls, beating the 42nd state. Again, 60 is the 42nd composite number. The Devils coach stayed on 281 wins today, the 60th prime. Devils stayed on 56 points. Super Bowl 60 is the 56th Super Bowl of the modern era. The Devils stayed on 27 wins on 9 date numerology, plus they played the Jets next. You might recall when Nick Mangold died earlier this year for the Jets, and then the Jets won their first game. He was from Ohio. The Jets beat Cleveland and then Cincinnati in back-to-back weeks in 27 rituals after the death of Nick Mangold. And yeah, it's just like the Devils and New Jersey Devils. The Seahawks, the only Super Bowl they won, it was in New Jersey. The Jets and Giants play in New Jersey. So this is how they do it. That was Super Bowl 48. Today's Zelensky's 48th birthday. Again, Seahawks equals 48. They've connected the Rams to Ukraine since Super Bowl 56. Again, this is the 56th of the modern era. It's just like Super Bowl 58 and 54. Those were both the Joe Montana Bulls. 58 was the 54th of the modern era. The Chiefs won 54 in the 2019 season that ended at the start of 2020. And then they became the first team to go back-to-back in 19 years. Went to overtime 19-19 like Montana wore 19 with the Chiefs. 16 with the Niners. It was the Chiefs were down 16-19 in Super Bowl 58, tied it 19-all, and then won it in overtime with McCole Hardman's 19th career touchdown. Senators and Golden Knights, I was on the wrong side of this game too. Wasn't crazy about that game. And again, I don't tell people to play every game, but I had the wrong lead in that one. Penguins, though, I liked a lot more. It made a lot of sense for them to win this game to set up a pattern versus Chicago that smoked all year. So if you're paying attention, so Penguins got it done. Panthers looked rock solid to beat the Blackhawks today because 28 smashes with the Blackhawks. It's also been playing on this NHL net, which equals 28 like Blackhawks as they get their 28th win. And the nice underdog Ducks, they looked rock solid today too. The Ducks love 13. They had a double 13 going against the Flames. And we used that in the Flames last game to line it up how they could fall to 13-13 versus the Ducks. If you don't know how to read a hockey score, they're now 13 wins and 13 total home losses because in hockey you have regulation losses and overtime losses. But yeah, nice little winning day in the NHL. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 4 and 2. Not our best day. I mean, I've had a lot of awesome days in hockey where we were like 11-1 or 11-0, 10-1. We've had a lot of those days this year. But 4-2 with a nice upset to close out the day. Hey, it's not bad. The NBA, we did more damage in the NBA today. Kings Pistons. It looked like the Kings had a shot to cover. They didn't. Damn you, Kings. Nuggets and Grizzlies got canceled. Warriors were a nice little dog versus the Timberwolves today. Marty, if you're out there, I did see in my notes that you guaranteed the Timberwolves were going to win today, and I thought, is he still on Patreon? Marty, get back on the Patreon. I thought, what? You guaranteed the Timberwolves win today. It doesn't look very good for the Timberwolves to me. Looks like it's the Warriors' day, and they did. They got it done today. Nice little upset there, and they put a beating on the Timberwolves. Raptors were big dogs versus the Thunder. The Mavericks-Bucks game also got delayed today, but Raptors-Thunder, we saw this one at the beginning of the week. We said the Raptors look like they can win the next 3 games all on the road, and they did. They won 3 straight games on the road to get their 29th win and 16th road win, and this was a big payout today. OKC 29-16. Just the other day when the Pacers beat OKC, they got their 11th win of the year. Pelicans, also big dog today versus the Spurs. Pelicans, big dog today versus the Spurs. There was just more number here on the Pelican side. A nice value over here. Another nice upset. 27 in Miami doesn't play. Do you guys remember Monday in the college championship when Kirk Cignetti got his 27th win with Indiana, winning the championship with 27 points? Today, the Suns stay on 27 wins versus Miami. You know what I mean? Heat pick up the 25th win on the 25th. All day, Heat got the 10th road win. Suns, 10, right? There's just certain numbers. And see, that's the beauty of this knowledge. The beauty of this knowledge is there's just, you learn that there's just certain numbers that are really strong with teams. And again, you got haters out there like, well, how come you can't pick every game then? Well, are you listening to what we're saying about how they double code games? For the record, in that Miami game, had Mario Cristobal won, he would have got his 36th win with Miami. But we know from experience that the 27 is a lot more powerful in Miami than 36. Sometimes, though, that would happen. A 36 would beat a 27. It's not going to happen the majority of the time, but it is the kind of thing that can ruin your day. You might have 5 picks on a card, 5 strong patterns that you've been winning on over and over, and that might be the day where 36 came out on top of 27. Doesn't normally happen, but sometimes it does. That's also why it's better to not put 5 things on a card. So anyway, and then the last game, Clippers were pretty hefty favorites versus the Nets, and they did have the stronger narrative, and they destroyed the Nets. I thought it might be a 13-point game, which was to cover. They beat them by 37, right? Big number in Los Angeles. Los Angeles 37. Tomorrow's the anniversary of Kobe Bryant dying. R.I.P. Kobe. Bryant 26. Actually, as I say, R.I.P. Kobe. If he really did die, if they really took him out of here, something tells me he could be watching this stream right now. I mean, unmarked grave like Charlie Kirk, who got loaded into an SUV just like Trump after his hoax. Again, the world's a stage. They love to mess with us. We're being lied to from all angles. Rigged sports, rigged news, rigged elections, rigged mass shootings, rigged political shootings. What they did to Kobe. But don't never forget, Kobe dead on the 26th, on the 37th anniversary of Bear Bryant, the football great coach. Bear Bryant, who died in 83, the year of the greatest QB draft class of all time when football's 83. And don't forget, Kobe had an 83 in his death, too, because his death was synced with the Pope. He died on the 41st day of the Pope's age, like Kobe Bryant's 41. Died in L.A., which is 41 and 13, like Gianna was 13. But helicopter crash, 83. The Pope was 83 at the time. See how they did that? They synced a helicopter crash with the 83-year-old Pope in tribute to Bear Bryant, who died in 83. I mean, come on. Come on. So, yeah, I mean, just all around big-time winning day, huge upsets. And then, you know, my reward for being doing what I do is to be trolled all the time in this nonstop disinformation campaign. Guys spamming today. I signed up and lost so much money today. How? Imagine you just put in nothing but straight bets here in the NBA. You would have padded your pockets big time. You would have done it in the NHL today, too. You would have had some nice gains. And you definitely would have done it in the NFL because both things that I put as top scenarios came out. I was a lot more confident about the Patriots beating the Broncos. And I told people today you might want to think about a ticket with Patriots, Seahawks, and Patriots, Rams, because I wouldn't have been surprised either way. But like I also told people, you also might want to wait for the Rams-Seahawks game to see if there's more clues. And the 10-7 score and the 206 yards of offense, which I hammered my community with before the second game kicked off, saying this looks like Seattle's got it. And Seattle got it. And 58 points for Pope Leo, the 14th. With number 14, Darnold getting it done. So, yeah, if you're paying attention, I pretty much gave you the future for next year's Super Bowl and also what I think is going to win in the next Super Bowl. And if you didn't pick up on that, you need to work on your listening skills because a lot of your guys' skills are total shit. So often I'll put out a free video where I'm giving you a gem and then some asshole's leaving a comment, well, like, if you're so good, then who's going to win this game? And it's like, did the moron just listen to what I said in the video? God damn, you guys. Some of you are... sorry, I got to talk nicer because my 15-year-old neighbor's watching now that I know, but gosh darn it. Anyway, we got big money in the bank. Evan, Justin, if you guys want to join, I'm going to start taking some calls. See who else is gloating. What's up, big money? Don't forget to unmute.
Hey, Zach, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, no, so unfortunately, I'm snowed in, so like whenever these types of things happen, like I get forced to stay inside. So I decided to watch the games today. You always point out, the in-game clues, and it was just weird watching. First, I'll talk about the Broncos and Patriots game. Jim Nantz and Tony Romo were like cheerleading the Broncos like in the beginning of the game, and they're just like,
The
"Oh
whole
man,
media
look."
all week was trying to get everybody on the Broncos, and it even worked on the minds of people in my community because you saw how many, like all my callers today were calling in about the Broncos, and I kept running them. I'm like, you guys, we documented the Patriots had the best in-season ritual. They have the best narrative for the big game. I mean, so anyway,
Yeah, no, it was just weird, and I'm just like, man, they're really cheerleading the Broncos a little too hard right now. And then, like, as they're moving the ball, everything, and then next thing you know, they bring up the Patriots road record, they're undefeated, 8-0. It's like randomly in the middle of the game. It's like in the beginning kind of esque, like they showed it. It was like one of the first stats on there. I said, okay, 8-0, they're gonna go to 9-0. It's like a dead giveaway every
yeah,
time they do this.
exactly. They in the middle of the first quarter they put up the stat that the Seahawks had won 8 straight. So boom, here comes the ninth straight. And we already talked about how the Patriots could become 9-0 on the road. I mean, that was already something we discussed. The
Yeah,
one thing I missed this morning before the game was that the Seahawks could win their ninth straight this year, but I got that update early in our notes. But yeah, we already covered how the Patriots could become 9-0 on the road. We talked about
yeah.
that. That every time the Patriots have ever gone perfect on the road, they've gone to the Super Bowl. That had been a talking point in our community.
Yeah, and they showed it on the screen too. It was like one of the first things, they put, put up to the masses. I said, okay, well, there's the giveaway. Um, the second thing with regards to that game, it actually doesn't have anything to do with what they showed, but my best friend's wife, um, she's Dominican. So they're all obsessed, with the Super Bowl. They don't care about the actual game. They care about the halftime show. And literally, like he was telling my boy that Cardi B, who's with Stefan Diggs, she's got a song with Bad Bunny. I didn't even fucking know that shit. I had to look it up. I was like, really? Like, are you for real? And I looked it up. She got a song with him, and I was just like, "Oh man, no wonder they're fucking going." Like, it just makes perfect sense. And they put Diggs through that goofy ritual, and now he's in the Super Bowl. I'm just like, man, like they really know what they're doing here.
Yeah, it's the same stuff they do year after year. I mean, same stuff we've been documenting
And
for over
then
a decade.
last but not least, in the second game in the uh Rams Seahawks game, it was like inside of 2 minutes, like towards the end of the game. Um, they showed like it was like after the Rams blew it on fourth down or whatever, incomplete pass in the end zone. Seattle gets the ball. It's inside 2 minutes. They zoomed in on the Seahawks huddle. They're huddled up, and the two players were 9 and 11, Kenneth Walker and JSN. They zoomed in on them and it said 9-11. I said, "Oh yeah, like this." It's such a joke. Like they put it like right there. Like I'm sure there were other stuff in the game, but like that
They do
shit
it all
right
the
there
time. I
just
mean, just
coming.
look at one of the last short videos
Yeah,
I uploaded. The camera goes right from Walker number 9 to, or from Stafford number 9 to Njiba number 11. They just did it real quick to go from 9 to 11. I mean,
yeah. Like with the
people
whole
don't notice these
Patriots
things
act
if
and
they're not
stuff.
paying attention, but we know what they're doing. Vatican Hill equals 911. Vatican alone 119. All roads lead to Rome. They were doing that after the game was over, after the Pope tribute was complete.
Yeah, and then the other, and yeah, exactly. Like they did that like at the end too. I was like, okay, yeah, they're signifying like this is gonna be the team representing the NFC. And then they got the whole Super Bowl picture going viral of May and Darnold at the front of the line, like with the NFL page, the Super Bowl preview, and they're like, oh man, they really scripted this. Uh, so
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
indeed.
it's like the
All right, Big
hottest
Money.
thing.
Appreciate it, man.
Yep, I'll see you later.
All right, take care. All right, we got Evan, Justin, Open Up, and Legati, if I'm saying that right. Sorry if I'm not. What's up, Evan?
All right. Hey, Zach. So I was telling you, must have been 2 or 3 weeks ago, about the death of Matt Hasselbeck's dad, Don Hasselbeck. He died on 14/4, and that was, as I said, it was 201 days before Matt's birthday. And so what's funny about his dad, Don, he went to Colorado, and then he spent most of his career with the Patriots.
For people who don't know, Matt Hasselbeck lost in Super Bowl 40 to the Steelers with the Seahawks. Go ahead.
Right. And okay, so yeah, Don Hasselbeck went to Colorado for college, then played most of his career with the Patriots, then won the Super Bowl with the LA Raiders, and then his son spent most of his career with the Seahawks. So in the Final Four this year was Denver, the Patriots, the LA Rams, and the Seahawks. And what was I going to say? There's one more thing. That's right. And yeah, so I said he died 201 days after Matt's birthday. And he died.
Do you see how many games that he played with New England?
How many?
86 in the regular season. Like Broncos is 86. Like Drake May had 86 passing yards today.
And
remember, you guys, Kenny Easley for the Seahawks. He died 86 days before the Super Bowl. He wore 45 for the Seahawks, and that's who the Seahawks are going to play, the 45 team. New England equals 45 forwards and backwards. But again, he died 86 days before the Super Bowl. We know what 86 is: blood sacrifice, human sacrifice. It's also Broncos, who are part of this final playoff picture. And he also died on the 303rd day of his age, like Denver's 303 area code. So look at that. It can be kind of confusing, but you can see how all of these rituals were really about putting together these conference championships and the history that was on the line and what the outcomes were going to be. But ultimately, what mattered the most about Kenny Easley was his jersey number, because we call New England 45 land, because it's 45 forwards and backwards. Not to mention Stidham, I should have said, today he was throwing on the 171st day of his age for the team who drafted him. And we saw how that worked out. New England beat Stidham, who drafted him. Not to mention Stidham means steed, which is another horse-related word. I mean, how perfect. But go ahead, Evan.
Okay, yeah, the one more thing I was going to add on with Don Hasselbeck is that he died 43 weeks before the Super Bowl, and Seattle Seahawks equals 43. And the previous caller was just talking about...
As does football, as does killing, as does Masonic, as does RIP. Yeah, Seahawks won Super Bowl 48 with 43 points.
And the caller beforehand was just talking about 9/11 with the Seahawks. Guess what the Seahawks record is against the Patriots all time?
I should remember because I wrote it down earlier today, but I honestly can't. What is it?
They're 11-9 against the Patriots all time. That includes Super Bowl 49.
Here, I can just put up here right here to confirm it. Yeah, 11-9, and that's interesting. That's something to think about, because they do have a 129 connection, but that's going to have to upset something else. Okay, we'll think a little more about that. Okay.
And another thing with John Brody dying the other day, he went to the same high school as Marshawn Lynch. And, of course, Marshawn Lynch played for the Seahawks. And the Super Bowl is 2 months and 14 days before Marshawn Lynch's birthday, and John Brody threw for 214 touchdowns in his career.
Okay.
And one last thing, we got to look out for that St. Joseph's Hawks versus George Mason Patriots the day before the Super Bowl, because that'll be a clue. Hawks versus Patriots the day before Seahawks and Patriots play.
Yeah, they've done a lot of things like that with the college basketball games and the Super Bowl over the years. Indeed, they have.
All right, well, thanks, Zach, and I'll catch you later.
All right, man. Good research, Evan. Thanks. I'm going to go back, and I missed that about Matt Hasselbeck's father. That was a good decode. What's up, Justin?
What's up? I'm just generally curious. I've been sitting here. I told my buddy to enter because I was sitting here listening to what he was watching. What does the Pope have to do with football?
Well, everything. What trophy do they play for in the Super Bowl?
The Lombardi Trophy.
And who's Lombardi?
Some motherfucker named Vince Lombardi.
He's a Jesuit. And who do the Jesuits serve?
Oh my fucking God! He's a Jesuit order guy. That bullshit you used to talk about. This is
so how's that bullshit? Because he is a Jesuit. He died unexpectedly at Jesuit Georgetown the day before the 1970 season began. Vatican equals 70 in Gematria. He just died unexpectedly. Did this Jesuit at the first Jesuit
You're probably
university.
one of them motherfuckers that think we're in a simulation, aren't you?
I didn't say we're in a simulation. No, I said all roads lead to Rome, and this is how they rigged the system.
How the fuck? Oh my god.
I can't tell if you're a troll or just a typical moron that this country breeds,
A
but again,
moron, motherfucker. They pay you to sit here and tell people you make money. To
so I didn't
sit
tell you. I didn't tell you guys a few weeks back during the wild card about how the Super Bowl or the conference championship was exactly 19 weeks after the Pope's birthday, and Seattle could become 19-19 because I know I gave that out for free in the wild card stream, and they did. They just became 19-19 in the playoffs, 8-2 at
That's
home.
no different than when you're looking at the fucking clock and you just so happen to notice it's 6:09 and you're at
So that's the exact. So they have, so they. So
and
you
then
think
you're
it's the
sitting at
exact
a
same that
pump
they had
number
ref
9.
number
There's no difference
19
in that, buddy.
officiating?
It's just
Hold on.
circumstantial.
Okay, there's no point in talking to trolls like this. I mean, just a moron. Again, the last 2 times there was a new pope, the Seahawks went to the Super Bowl, and it just happened again. Exactly 19 weeks after the Pope's birthday, they become 19-19 in the playoffs, and they literally chose ref number 19 to work the game. And just like I told you guys, look for all the clues. The first score was 10-7 with 206 yards of offense by the Patriots. What did I tell you last week? I gave you guys the free video last week at halftime with Brady talking so much about Super Bowl 49, which was between the Patriots and Seahawks. Here, let me show you Tom Brady and the Pope here. Let me show you Tom Brady and the Pope. Tom Brady kissing the hand of the Pope. Remember, Pope Francis blessed Super Bowl 51, where Brady had the 25-point comeback on 2-5 when Pope equals 25. Here, this is Brady, and this is before Pope Francis. This is Pope John Paul II. This is even before, or hold up. Was it Benedict that he met? I can't tell because it's from the side. I think that's an older John Paul II there. This is the beginning of Brady's career. And we made this point today, too. A moron like that. Today's exactly 25 weeks after Brady's birthday on the 25th that they do this ritual for the Pope. So, oh my God. Blah, blah, blah. Who I am is the guy who has accumulated a great amount of wealth taking advantage of this rig system and helped a lot of other people do it, too. We just had a caller yesterday who said they just made so much money this last year. Him and his wife are buying their first house. A couple days before that, we had Tim call in to remind us that he bought his first house off this knowledge. All of you guys who deny this, what you are is morons. You're morons. That's all. You sound like the last guy who just called in. Oh, are you one of them simulation guys? No, I'm not, retard. I'm the guy who sees through the rig. I'm the guy with the above room temperature IQ, unlike most of you. Most of you don't even reach triple digits. It's why you can't see that the games are rigged. That's the difference. What's up? Open up.
Hey, what's up, Zach? I appreciate you taking the retard off the line after 30 seconds. He doesn't deserve any more than that.
No, he didn't, because it's a loser. Just a loser.
Yeah, I don't know if he was new or if he's actually just retarded, but I mean, this has been going on, or you have been showing this for 13 years. But I just wanted to call today just to say appreciate you. Today was a great day, and I thank you for the knowledge. We saw the 41 yards at halftime. When they came back to the game, they even highlighted that on the screen that
they did in big red. You couldn't miss it. They made it red.
Yep. And then the game ending 10-7, that was a clear clue for the next game for the Seahawks to win.
And the scream out of 206 yards.
Yep. When you said that update after the game, before the Seahawks game with the 206, that was a good addition because I wasn't listening. So that's another plus to you. And then I thought it was funny in the Rams Seahawks game, the punt to number 19 who fumbled it. He muffled the punt, and then the next play, number 19 scored for the Seahawks. So that was funny.
That's the one that I should have thought of. Jake Bobo, number 19. I forgot to even put him in my notes, but it just made too much sense for number 19 to score with all this 19 stuff. Another thing that's funny is, what are the seeds for the Super Bowl?
What is it, 5-2, right?
No.
Oh, I know the Seahawks were the 1 seed, right?
So it's 2-1, right?
Yeah.
What do I always bring up about Super Bowl 49? How it ended?
Was it 2nd and 1 on the 2-yard line or the 1-yard line or whatever? His 21st pass.
2nd and 1. It was a 2nd and 1 on the date. 2-1. Russell Wilson drops back for his 21st pass, which gets picked by number 21. Now we get the vengeance game with the 2 versus the 1. 11 years later.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Cooper Cup was another good one. He had the quote unquote revenge narrative for
Yeah.
his 68th touchdown in his 131st game, both the championship numbers.
Look at
So,
this, guys. Russell Wilson, here's Super Bowl 49 box score where he threw the pick at the goal line. 21st pass. Here, go back to the play-by-play. Here, last play of the game. Where's it at? Interception right here. Look at this. Russell Wilson down 2nd and 1 on the day 2-1, intercepted by number 21, Malcolm Butler. And then remember, in Super Bowl 52, they benched Butler and they lost it's like, why would you bench the MVP of Super Bowl 49? All part of the script. So
yeah. And just to that, I played Kenneth Walker with the Seahawks, with the Kraken in hockey, and the Patriots to win. So all thanks to the knowledge. I think that was like around plus 600 or something like that. And then on top of that, I got invited by some friends to go watch the Rams game because one of my friends is a Rams fan, and he kind of always jokes around asking me, "Oh, what's the script for today?" And I told him it doesn't look good for the Rams today, and he just laughed. And we watched the whole game, and they lost, and he was a little depressed, and I think it was 5 of us there, but I put a Benjamin down on the Seahawks to win by itself, and they did win. So I ended up just paying for everybody's dinner, and I just told them, I mean, I told you guys, we all just ate for free because of what I told you. So hopefully, this helps them
a
realize.
lot of hard-headed people, though, they just will never learn. They will never learn.
Yeah, but I appreciate you, Zach. Great work as always, and we're going to be looking forward to the baseball season, which I think that's where you do the best. So
well, man, we've done great in a lot. This was not our best year for futures in football. I thought I had it dialed in when the Patriots picked up the 106th win with Patriots versus Eagles again, but instead it's the other bird team, the Seahawks.
yeah, so. I mean, but you did tell us the Patriots. You did tell us that months ago. So
yeah,
great work.
Yeah, and we did have that caller early in the season who put us on that $106 song. He was not wrong either. So
yep, true. And then good call by Jerry Cruz showing us the 106 earlier today.
Yeah, the Rams staying on 106 today. Yeah,
great work all around. Appreciate you, Zach. Take care.
Yeah, thanks, man. Congrats on the win. All right, we got. Is it Lagodi? Am I saying it right? Lagodi? Oh man, was it a troll? They're just out of here that fast. What's up, DK?
Hey, Zach.
Yeah, what's up?
So the Patriots is like associated with the military usually, right? You don't always say like Patriots or whatever. So like it would be mostly like Army, and then Seahawks is the Navy. So you have a Army Navy game. What was the last Army Navy game result?
I forget. The underdog covered in Army Navy this year. That's what I remember.
Huh.
Yeah, Army lost by a point. It was 16-17. Army was the underdog. I feel like they were like about a 7.5 point underdog.
Yeah, that just hit me right now. I got home and I was like, "Oh, Zach's live. Let me see what's going on." Oh, okay, it's about the Super Bowl. And then I'm like, "Yeah, is this an Army Navy game?" Yeah, that's all. I was just thinking that. I don't know if that's relevant or not, but.
Well, again, yeah, the Patriots really had their dominant run in all the years that this country was at war after 9/11. And we know Seattle's also very much a part of 9/11. Again, the man who designed the buildings, the World Trade Centers, was a Japanese-American from Seattle, and Magnus and Klemenkic Associates, who helped build Levi's Stadium, also helped build the World Trade Center, and Boeing obviously is out in Seattle. So again, it's the Pete Carroll Bowl. Pete Carroll coached the Jets, the Patriots, and the Seahawks, and now they have the Jets quarterback, Sam Darnold, and they're facing the Patriots. So, yeah, there's a few different elements at play here, but we do know that war is in the headlines nonstop. So, rumors of a much greater war. So, we'll see.
Another thing, you were talking to a caller, I don't know if it was like within the last couple of days, about just like these corporations, and I don't know if maybe I'll just say it in a way to try to somewhat clarify it, like Apple, Tesla, Facebook. These are all like just divisions of DARPA, and all the heads of like Elon Musk and Zuckerberg, and these are all just like, you might as well just call them DARPA employees who are playing like the acting role that they're the head of that division.
Right. Yeah, they're the actors. Yeah.
It's a joke. I mean, these guys, to really think there's actual billionaires like running around the world who could do whatever they want, but then they just decide to like do all the cabal agenda. I mean, it's such a ridiculous notion. There is no billionaires. There's one group that's controlling all the money, and they're printing all of it, and they make sure all their own are on like a tight string. And Satan's got very close eye on all his little helpers and workers, and he'll reward them as they do work. And if they don't, the noose gets pulled pretty quickly back and tightly, and you're left broke. Because I know a few of these who have kind of gone off the reservation from the Neanderthal fake Jew farm, and they don't get any money. Now they're broke. I've had one told me, like, before I could just go into a bank, I want to open up a new location for my, had a clothing business. No problem. We got all the money for you. You want the spot next to the Apple store in the airport with $40,000 a month rent? Yeah, no problem. But then as soon as you went off the reservation, nobody wants to come in the store and buy anything anymore. You got to close one, close two, close three. Got to close them all. So that's how they operate. And most of them don't ever go off the reservation, especially the big time ones you're seeing on TV. That's not gonna happen. So the whole thing is just actors, not just political actors, not just like CEO billionaire actors and athletic actors, and it's all actors. The whole thing, just for us to watch the show, and as soon as we stop paying attention to it all and giving it any energy and like participating, it'll all crash down like the house of cards that it always was. So that's
what needs to happen.
Anyway, all right, Zach, I'll talk soon.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Now look at this headline today. The day of the Super Bowl, Sports Broadcasting Hall of Famer Jeffrey Mason dies at 85. Remember, all the American sports are credited to Freemasonry. Again, Freemasonry is based in Kabbalah, where this whole thing of letters and numbers comes from. But 85 is a big number with the National Football League. National Football League equals 85. Again, the whole thing's scripted around Brady, whose name equals 85. Again, the Jesuit motto, Isus Hominum Salvator, equals 85. Remember how we were showing how Dick Geron of Massachusetts, who was an NFL coach, died on October 7th? That's the day leaving 85 days left in the year. Or that was his birthday. And then 107 was a theme with today's games. We know October 7th has been a theme with world events, from us invading Afghanistan, the year of Super Bowl 36, to the latest war, and what we'll call Robert Kraftland. But I guarantee there's a lot more to this too. If we look, Jeffrey Mason dead at 85 as the Super Bowl set. All right, we have Kai and Tony in the back. What's up, Kai?
What up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Whatever. I usually be in the chat on the Patreon, but I just hopped on. The props went crazy today for the Rams.
Rams Seahawks game was awesome for props.
Yeah, I think we hit like almost every prop, to be honest, for the touchdown props.
The only one I didn't really get today that I liked was Hunter Henry. I thought he'd score today, but that's okay because everything else I like came in.
Yeah, when I was watching the game, I'm like, I feel like because they were hyping the Broncos up all week, I'm like, man, it's probably gonna be low scoring game. Then when I seen the Patriots was when that kicker, the Venezuelan kicker, missed, I was like, they're gonna be stuck at 10. So yeah, those props hit. And another thing that I noticed too, that picture with all the players for the Super Bowl, like in the playoffs, Drake May is literally the only one like directly under the Lombardi Trophy.
Is this on the NFL Instagram?
I believe so, but it was like, I use Twitter mostly, but like, it's like Drake May is like directly under the Lombardi Trophy. Like they're like all visualizing the trophy.
I'm trying to see if I can spot this. When did this image get put out?
It originally got put out in like September, but they have some recent ones now. You probably have to Google it though. I guess you have to Google NFL playoffs. Players looking at the Lombardi Trophy, but Drake May is like the closest directly under it with in field in the vision.
I'll look for it later. I'm bad at searching. I believe what you're saying, but yeah, I'll look for that later. That is interesting.
But yeah,
now they give away a lot in their artwork, no doubt about it.
Yeah. Like I said, to like you said, 2-1 seed, 1 and 2 seed, 12 for Brady, 12th appearance. All the numbers are there for the Patriots, man. They get that 41st playoff win. They were
Well, just to be fair for the Seahawks fans, the one thing that is there for the Seahawks is they could get their 12th win versus the Patriots all time, but
that is true. They could definitely get that 12th win.
they do call them the 12s there in Seattle.
They made that apparent in the game the whole time. They kept calling them the 12. So, we'll see what happens. But yeah, if y'all in here, y'all not on the Patreon, hop on the Patreon, man. We be calling these.
What do you think about this guy that spammed everywhere that he signed up for the first time today and lost a ton of money? Does that seem possible?
All those guys when they post them, and
I don't know how you could have lost a ton of money with my place today. I mean, we hit big upsets in the NBA. We won across the board. It's got to be a troll, man. I just get tired of all the trolling.
Those trolls, sometimes they have like a thing they do, like they'll mock you, say, "Oh, congrats to the winners" and stuff. And I'm like, dude, like the Patreon's kind of common sense. You always say hedge or use the points just in case they're double coded. If you're not winning, you just don't have common sense.
Yeah, that's what I always say. I mean, the people who don't win with this knowledge are just dumb people. I'm sorry, that's just a fact, you guys. I mean, if you're not winning with this, you're just not very smart.
Yeah.
You should be winning. I mean, we win almost every single day.
Exactly. Now, initially with the Patriots, I was like, man, I think they might. I was thinking of the narrative of like, all right, Stafford gets the MVP, Drake May gets the Super Bowl MVP. They'll complete the trilogy. But that Pope narrative was kind of insane. So I was like, I'm gonna have to backtrack. So I just bet on the props for that Seattle game. I didn't even do the money line or the points. I just let that alone.
The Seahawks-Rams game was dangerous, but once they threw out the 206 at the end of the Patriots game, I felt pretty good about it. The 206 and the 10-7 score to me says Seattle.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, you see this Jeffrey Mason right here? I mean, look at it. I got to point this out. This guy who's dead today. 58. How many points you get in the Seahawks game in tribute to Pope Leo? Not to mention Freemasonry equals 58 like secret society. 202, that's the same cipher as San Francisco where the Super Bowl is. Exactly. 149 is the 35th prime. That's a Super Bowl in football number, and 68 is a championship number. Look at this guy's damn name dead the day of these conference championships. The Super Bowl set for SF. Come on, man.
Exactly. Are you heading up to San Francisco for
guys? How can I teach the same things year after year about the rigged games, the ritual sacrifices, and these people just deny it year after year? What is wrong with them?
It's a fact. Yeah, that's all I got, man. I'll be on the live stream tomorrow. Yeah, we do great work, man. So shouts out to you, Zach, for sure.
Appreciate it. Glad you had a winning day.
Of course.
All right. 200 into nearly 700. Not bad. What's up, Tony? We got Tony and then GMG. What's up, Tony?
Hey, Zach. Just a quick question, bro. And can I just give you a quick call out? Thank you for today's prop bets on Seattle. I won a fucking good chunk of money, bro. That was fucking awesome. But anyways, yeah. Anyways, sidetrack from that. I'm trying to figure out just a quick. And I'm at work right now, so do you mind if I just ask you the question, then you can kind of answer it right after? Is that cool?
Sure.
Okay, awesome. I'm trying to figure out how Gematria lines up with crypto and all the shit that's happening with crypto. I've been trying to line up numbers and everything else just to kind of get an understanding. Do you mind if I
hold on?
hang up?
All the crypto
cool?
stuff surged when Trump came into office at age 78, and everybody and their mom was putting out meme coins. So crypto had this huge boom. Cryptocurrency 78. We know who has their fingerprints on all these cryptos. The Jesuits who have their fingerprints on the money. But again, just know it's just like the other year when Bitcoin was surging, when its value wasn't what it is. I was saying, watch you guys, it's going to hit 72K by the 72nd day of the year, but then I expect it's going to dip. And everyone's like, no, don't listen to me, he's wrong. It's going to go up to 150K. Sure enough, it hit 72K. It actually went up to 73K the next day on the 73rd day of the year. And then it dropped down a lot, like back to 55. And I told people once it hits 72, probably a good point to pull out. We saw last year, we said, oh, Bitcoin's on the route for 117K by July 11th. Exactly what it did. And it did it went up a little bit higher in the days after, but then it's pretty much been on a downswing. So recognizing these milestones for these coins and the way markets go with ebbs and flows and dips, you can kind of see where like the tops and the milestones are, so you can know probably when is good to cash out. And then when you also kind of see when it's hitting low again. And, we're coming up on the 72nd day of the year. It's 47 days from now. So we'll
Yeah.
see what Bitcoin does as we approach that day. You can probably see if it's riding up or further down by then, but that's kind of how you use the knowledge.
Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. I'm just trying to I'm just trying to figure it all out. You know what I mean? Like I've used your knowledge a couple times, and it was only this time around where it's my third time betting. I don't bet much, and I'm very skeptical of betting. So I took your knowledge, I put it into practice, and again, I won today, and I was like, oh shit, this guy, it actually works. Now I wanted to just find out what's going on with crypto because crypto has a lot of numbers, and I'm just trying to puzzle everything together to figure out what this whole shenanigan is about. Again, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I have no idea, but I'm trying to figure it out, right? Like I know it's steps in progress to all this shit. So again, Zach, again, thank you for today, bro. I really appreciate for the prop bets and everything. If you can just go into a little more about crypto and shit, I'd really much appreciate that, bro. But again, thank you very much, bro. And I gotta bounce. I gotta get back to work.
All right.
Anyways,
All
thank
right.
you, bro.
Take care,
Appreciate that.
Tony.
Appreciate Yeah. Take care. Bye.
By the way, Jeffrey Mason, look, he was the producer for covering the news for the 72 Munich thing, which no doubt was a major psyop. Remember, today's big date numerology path is 72, and that's a big number at these Jesuits, too. So this guy, this Jeffrey Mason, who has all these connections to the NFL championship, he also factors in with dying on 72 date numerology and being the executive producer for the coverage of the 72 Olympic terrorism. Isn't it funny how it all works out by these same repetitive numbers? What was that? That was so 53 and a half years ago now. What's up, GMG?
Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. I was just calling in because I don't know, I had spoke to you probably like 2, 3 weeks ago about how I was feeling like they were syncing up the games with Cardi B and that song she had on her album and Stefan Diggs. I don't know if you remember that
I do.
conversation.
I do.
Yeah, I was seeing like it was like probably a week before this game, they were saying something about how the news letter that dropped on social media was about how Stefan Diggs is not going to be, I guess, penalized for whatever he did with the strangulation situation until after the Super Bowl. Like they specifically said until after the Super Bowl, and I was like, why would you say that? As if y'all know they're gonna be in the Super Bowl. Like I don't know. That was weird to me. So then I was really like thinking like, okay, they got to be going to the Super Bowl because the way they worded that was like after the Super Bowl. I'm like, why? Why is for one player is they waiting until after the Super Bowl? So then I was thinking like how I feel like they're trying to make a patriotic reference if um if Patriots win. And Cardi B's Latino and Bad Bunny is performing. He's also Latino. And the whole ICE thing going on. I don't know. I just feel like I've been seeing that and I wanted to reference that to you since our last conversation.
Yeah, this is how they operate. I mean, all of these, it's like a spider web, and they have so many different rituals and angles that are coming at it. But yeah, no doubt, hyping up that, like it's like okay, the Travis Kelsey Taylor Swift thing. Taylor Swift puts out the end of an era, and supposedly Mahomes gets hurt the other day, and it looks like that's all over. But then this year, they're also bringing in this newer Cardi B Stefan Diggs thing as they become the Super Bowl couple this year. I mean, that's how it works.
Right. Yeah. I was seeing that. Well, yeah, I mean, if I see more, I'll let you know and I'm probably gonna be joining the Patreon this week. I feel like I'm ready to join.
I see that. I saw the Super Bowl is going to be on the 121st day of Cardi B's age, which has a square root of 11, like she's born on the 11th of October. And we're getting a rematch of a Super Bowl from 11 years earlier. I'm not familiar with her music, but I'm sure there's plenty of. I'm sure she's got some songs that are some clues. So she's from Washington Heights, and the Patriots are playing the team from Washington State. That's probably part of the joke. So, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Do you feel like they're trying to do something symbolic, patriot wise, due to what's going on in the government?
Yeah, of course, obviously. I mean, yeah. Just, I even made the point. I told my own community, you're not on Patreon, so you don't know, but when with the Venezuelan kicker, again, the most famous person in Venezuela's history is Simon Bolivar, and he led an order called the Patriots, and he died at age 47. And now you got Trump, number 47 in Venezuela, saying that, this is we're a bunch of patriots conquering the world. It's imperialism, but it's patriotic. So yeah, all this stuff's no doubt connected.
Right, right, right. All right. Appreciate it,
All right,
Zach.
all right, thanks, man. All right, we don't have anybody else in the back right now. I don't have. Well, I'm sure if I really thought about it, there's more we could talk about, but I pretty much put out the main ideas out here. Again, if you do want to get more intel for the game, see if we can crush the player props for the Super Bowl, we'll be covering it for the next 2 weeks up until the game on Patreon. And again, every day we cover NBA, NHL, college sports. Baseball's about to get underway. We'll see if we can smash another spring training MLB future for the 122nd World Series. And again, just watch the obituaries too, because it happens every year. Just the bodies start dropping. Just like in the last, well, now if you count this broadcaster, that's at least 4 deaths connected to the NFL. But you had 3 players die last week connected to the NFL. Chet Brooks, former 49er, dead at 60. And then there was another headline that his sister died right after him. But former 49ers dead at 60, right before Super Bowl 60, hosted by his former team. Again, John Brody, the greatest 49ers quarterback until Joe Montana, announced dead Friday night. And right before that, Kevin Johnson, who was drafted by the Patriots, found murdered in L.A. Patriots in, L.A. out. And as I showed you the other night, he was murdered 82 days after his birthday. And that was another thing that I kept pointing out to the community. Look how New England Patriots is 82. You see that? New England Patriots 82, like Kevin Johnson murdered 82 days after his birthday. Seattle 82. What day is the Super Bowl? It's the 8th of February. The majority of the world writes that date 8-2. So the 2 teams that are in the game both have the connection. And in case you missed the Kevin Johnson murder story, here, I'll just pull it up. Not to be confused with Kevin Johnson from the NBA. He was the 55th mayor of Sacramento, not far from San Francisco. This Kevin Johnson played in the NFL, drafted by the Patriots, played for the Raiders and the Eagles. I was talking about that Bay Area Philly connection, but his birthday, October 30th, he was found murdered Tuesday. By the way, he was found murdered on the 201st day of the nation's age, that special 201 number, just like ESPN had the article about Brady getting to 201 games. But right here from his October 30th birthday to his death, the day he was found murdered, 82 days, former Patriot. And it's just nothing new. You guys remember the year the Patriots were at the White House with Trump and Aaron Hernandez was found murdered in his jail cell with, they said Illuminati was written on blood in the wall? Illuminati, 48. Donald Trump's literally in the Illuminati card game. He's the enough is enough card. Donald Trump, 48. Right now, Tom Brady's 48 years old. Tom, 48. Freemason, 48. Seahawks, 48. They're playing the Seahawks while Tom's 48. And again, today was Zelensky's 48th birthday, who they've synced the Rams up with ever since the war began. Rams got the same colors as Ukraine. Sean McVay's girlfriend, or now wife, is a Ukrainian. We got a D26 sighting. What's up, D26?
Hey, good evening.
How you doing?
Doing great. It's 26th of January, Republic Day, so woke up late as usual. I utilized the holiday as much as I can from my typical corporate job. So I haven't done the research about the World Economic Forum recently, but a lot of things was announced on that day, including a historic trade agreement between Europe and India. And I think Europe is also dealing with other Asian countries, predominantly because of the tariffs and all that stuff that is happening. from the United States. So the shift in world dynamics, or we would say trade agreements, is happening, and it was quoted as the mother of all deals, and that was 6 days ago on 20th of Jan at World Economic Forum. I'm just decoding just before your call. Do you have anything for me to watch out? Because it's also interesting because the leader of the European Union is I think already in India, in Delhi, and with the Prime Minister for the Republic Day parade. And it is the 26th day of the year 2026, and it is the 77th Republic Day of India. And
I don't have any information on that right now, D26. I'm sorry.
okay, just wanted to know that because trade deal equals 56, and if I write India Europe trade deal, that equals I think 187. That's the two things that I found out. So I'm just like looking into that. I also found out that a lot of diplomats, they are Jesuit trained or something like that, who are part of these things. Not now, but the previous decade or something. But oh yeah, also I was supposed to call you last week, but even now I barely get time during, to be honest.
It's okay, D26. We're both super busy, so.
Yeah, I leave at 6:30 in the morning and I return home at 10:30.
At night?
Yeah.
You know, you're like Robert Plant on the Led Zeppelin song "Since I've Been Loving You." So, do you know that song?
No, I don't know. I don't Led Zeppelin, but I
He
don't.
sings.
I don't
He
remember
sings
the
about
song.
having to work all day. So, his hours are similar to yours.
It's the first job. It's also related to AI, so I'd say just grind as much as I can for the last few for the first few years, and then I'll save up money and probably start some business.
That's the plan. That's the plan. D26, it is late over here, and I've been up since early. I'm going to let a few more people
Yeah.
get in. It's always good to hear from you, man, but
Sure,
have no
sure,
worries.
no
Just
problem.
stay the course.
I will probably call you later, some other day.
All right.
Thank you.
Good to hear from you, friend. You take care.
Yeah, you too.
He's a working man now. He's on the grind. What's up, Roz Lion? Roz Lion, hello? Can you hear me? Maybe he can't hear me. Sometimes the glitch happens where they can't hear me. Roz Lion, can you hear me? I don't think he can hear me. But he's on. He's on.
Can you hear me?
Uh, He can't hear me. Let me see. I'll put this message up on the screen and see if he can see that.
Nothing.
Yeah, he can't hear me. It's a glitch. Shit, he doesn't know. Sometimes this glitch happens on StreamYard. Here, while he's figuring it out, I'll pull GMG up. GMG, while he's figuring it out, go ahead.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Uh-huh.
All right. So I just spoke to you. But another thing I was thinking about that I was seeing, you know how like in the game today with the Patriots, like all that fake ice and snow that just started falling down, right? And
Well, I don't know if that's fake. I mean, that's the Mile High City. They're a mile in the air. It snows a lot out in Denver.
yeah, but I just felt like I don't know. I felt like that was kind of fake how it happened. And on even how it kind of looked, but but I was saying, they're saying that like in the hip hop community, they're saying that Drake might perform with Bad Bunny because they have a song together. And I know the quarterback of Patriots, his name is Drake, and Drake has an album coming out this year called Iceman while they're doing all this like ice stuff.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you knew about that or not.
Somebody did tell me about that, and we know that's not an accident with everything going on. The country's iced over. ICE can raid people's house without warrants, and weather warfare is a real thing.
But I felt, yeah, I did kind of feel like I might be wrong, but I did kind of feel like that snow that was happening in the game was just fake because the first half was so clear, and then it just looked kind of fake. And I know that
Well,
I live in LA.
Colorado's known for crazy weather because it's the Mile High City. I remember a Colorado Rockies game back in the day where it was, I forget what it was. It was like 70 degrees when the game started, and then some crazy cold front
I
came
know
and it
I
was
can't
snowing
hear
by the
anything.
seventh inning. So,
You're right, you're right. But I know I
Can
live
you
in
hear me?
LA, and I know like they've been playing a lot with the weather. Like I've seen how when they'll spray stuff in the sky, and then the next day where it's raining crazy, and the day before it was just sunny out. They've been doing a lot with that. So sometimes when I see certain things, I already kind of think like, all right, the way they just did that with the ice was kind of with the snow was kind of crazy. But
yeah, yeah. That place is known for crazy weather, though. Mile High City, highest city in America.
all
Let's
right,
see if Roz Line can connect now. Roz Line, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear
There you
me?
go. Yeah, what's up, man? Just so you know, if for anybody who ever comes on here, if you can't hear
I don't know if
me,
you can hear me.
I hear
Can you
you.
hear me?
I hear you.
This is what the
Oh,
fuck
he
is
can't hear
going
me
on?
now. Or no, that was before too. Well, doesn't he see the message I'm putting up on the screen that says "Go ahead and speak"? We hear you. Yeah, for some reason, some people have a glitch and they can't hear me. I don't know what that's about. It probably started 2 months ago now. It never used to do that. I don't know what
272, 132,
Ross Lyson.
272.
I don't know how he doesn't see the message about just speak. All right. Unless he's just somehow not looking at the screen either. But yeah, if he can't figure it out, I will wrap it up. I've been up since early.
Uh,
He's having trouble figuring it out. What's up, Terju?
Yeah, man. I was just gonna say thank you very much for the knowledge. And to the guy who was talking shit earlier, he needs to do his own decodes. Cause I remember I called in like 2 3 days ago maybe, and he told me to I talked about the market, and you were like just uh use the knowledge for myself, because some guy called in earlier and he was talking about some token and it went up by 34x and stuff. So today with the Seahawks game, how you mentioned on the Patreon, the commentators was talking about the numbers that helped out. I gave you the tip. I gave you a tip on Cash App, I think. But
Appreciate it.
and yeah, just whoever is in the Patreon and still don't know how to use the knowledge, literally, um, because I've been doing my own decodes on NBA games, and whenever my numbers and your numbers match, that's the game I choose. And guess what? That's the games I win. So yeah.
Yeah, again, I'm glad you're using the knowledge. Again, you apply this knowledge. It's really not that hard to figure out things. It's
Yep.
just a matter of recognizing the numbers and the patterns. And there's certain
Mm-hmm.
numbers that hit hard with certain teams and cities that are super redundant. There will be days that they let you down, but hey, if you're winning 8 out of 10 times on a pattern, you're steadily building.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
and
thank you very
again,
much,
days
man.
like today. I mean, the last 2 weeks, we were on a real tear with NBA and NHL to start the year. The last 2 weeks, it hasn't been terrible. We still mostly winning days, but a lot of mediocre days, in my opinion. But then you have a day like today where you hit a lot of big upsets. Your player props come in, and you have a huge
Yeah.
multiplying day. And then you just look at the course of last week. You're like, well, that really helped out the rest of last week because I didn't make that much the last week off the knowledge. I'm used to making more than that. But bam, today was the day, and now we're back in business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Today was the day indeed. Draft picks actually gave me a notification saying, take a break. So
Yeah, they're like, you're stealing from us. Take a break.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, man. All right.
So another ritual, though, for people who don't know, Scheffler went to the same high school in Dallas as Stafford and Clayton Kershaw, and they do a lot of rituals with these guys. So Stafford actually came up a little bit short today, but Scheffler won this tournament, and I should have thought about that because just again, Scheffler, Stafford, and Kershaw have been doing all these rituals together for some time now. Okay. All right. Appreciate it, Terzu.
Yep. No problem, man.
All right, we got Tim. Tim, you got to connect your mic, and then after that, we got Jay with open eyes. But if you don't get your mic connected, I'm going to go with Jay just because he's ready to go. All right, I'm going to go out to Jay because he's got his mic connected. Tim, I'll go to you, but you got to connect a mic. What's up, Jay?
Just nothing. I just wanted to give another I've done like this before, but I just wanted to just give a public, not really a public announcement, but like a lot of times like people will come in and they'll say like things that will automatically get like the average person that doesn't really know anything to like not take you serious before you can even explain anything to them. So like there was I see a lot of people, like not just the guy that was on, but a lot of people saying that like the snow is fake. Like, please, like if you want people to take you serious, you cannot assert things that you could never prove or that you can't prove. Like that's
I
another.
agree with that. I
Yeah,
agree with that. I
like
agree.
that.
Exactly. People like my sister, they'd be like, see, the only people listening to Zach are crazy people.
Like, cause I see the skit of like it's a YouTuber that I'm subscribed to because he makes funny skits, but he was making a skit exactly like about like people. It was literally like a skit specifically about people calling the snow fake. It was hilarious, but like when I saw dude come up on here and say what he said, I was like, bro, this is why like people make fun of us, cause like. And it's not to talk trash about the dude who said that. I'm sure he meant well, but it's just like we have to stop saying things that we cannot prove or that we cannot actually give actual
Here's the
arguments
point,
for.
guys. For 13 years, I've been proving my point in spades, and so many people still will not acknowledge what I'm doing. And you don't ever see me reaching out and being like, and plus that snow was fake. Then I would understand why people did. Again, just stick with things that are concrete because these people that we call bots or whatever you want to call them, lemmings, NPCs, you can move some of these people, but it is very difficult. And when you start giving them things like,
Yeah.
they just check
But
out right away.
people already think that you're fucking crazy, even for like just saying things like this that you can actually you can literally like show a pattern of this shit and people will still think you're crazy. Like nobody is gonna take you serious if you just say the fucking snow is fake, especially if you can't give an argument for why or how. Like just that's one of the reasons why I like kind of like separated myself, because it's just like too many people, they just like, you're one of the few guys that like don't make like people who question anything look retarded. It's just like we have to stop doing that. Like we have to stop falling into like obvious bait. Like we just stick to, and it's like when I tell niggas this shit, they always get mad at me, and I'm like, bro, like you're not helping anything. Like you just making it worse for the people that actually question stuff, and you just put a bad name on everybody else, because those are always the people or the arguments that people are going to focus on. They're always going to focus on the crazy shit that people say that sounds dumb. So it's just like you have to just focus on things that you can verifiably prove. Like if you cannot, the way I see it, if you can't show like a constant pattern or direct somebody to like a concrete documentation of something, like it just should not, it shouldn't leave your mouth. Like don't, like, because obviously like weather manipulation like is a real thing, but that doesn't mean that the fucking snow is fake. So it's like two things can be true at the same time. You just have to be able to know and improve what you're saying. Like you can't just say things and not even know the answer behind it and just be like, well, I just feel like it's like nobody with some sense that doesn't know about this is gonna take you serious. So it's just you just leave all of that out.
And again,
That's all.
Denver's in the mountains. I mean, it snows there
Yeah,
constantly.
it's like there's no especially if it's up north, like there's no reason for like it's gonna snow at some point. I mean, it's in the winter, bro. Like it doesn't have to be fake. Like
Yeah.
come on, bro. Like it's just come on, bro. Like we gotta stop doing this shit.
Yeah, I think that's a good tip. I know he means
Yeah.
well, that caller,
Yeah,
and
but like I said, I know he means well, but
maybe
we
he
just
was
gotta
trying to
stop.
say like he thought it was some kind of weather warfare, but just get the wording right too, because people are like,
Yeah,
"What? Fake snow? What do you think they were just? What do you think it was like a Hollywood scene? And they were just like what dumping it from the Goodyear blimp up above?" So,
yeah. All right.
all right, appreciate it, Jay. All right, let me see if this Raz Lions figured it out, and then after that we got Trav Ain't Sleep, and then Tracy, and then GMG's Beck. Can you hear me, Raz Lion? He still can't hear me. He still can't hear me.
I don't think it's working.
But how did you not see
Shit
the
is
message I put
acting
up like 10
dumb.
times to just talk? Okay, I got to give up on him, man. What's up, Tim? Tim called back in
Hey,
too. You're trying to connect.
I think I figured it out, right?
I hear you.
Okay, good. So I didn't really bet today, but I did follow the Patreon live stream, and I remember you at the beginning. You were like, I want to look at all the players, the backups, and the third stringers, but it's kind of
I
hard for
forgot to
me.
look at Dan Bobo.
That's okay. Thank you. Because like when it happened, and I went back to your notes, and I was like, I know he would have added like if
Not
somebody
a
would.
single person. See, what annoyed me is nobody called in with what I asked them to do. They called in with like,
Yes,
I'm stuck
yes,
on this and that. And it's just like, this isn't helping you guys. I don't need you to call in with what you can't decide on,
exactly,
So anyway.
exactly. It's so easy to because even if you would have, so anybody would have mentioned that, you probably would have put the magnifying glass on them and again add
I
them
would
to
have
the
been all
notes.
over it because we knew 19 was huge in this game. That's why when he scored, I was like, God. And I know that he exists because I'm out here in Washington State. And I was like, why did I not think of number 19? Damn.
No, I think it's part of the community's fault for not helping you out. I think we're like a think tank, and I did see the clues with the 107 and the other, like it pointed to Seattle. I saw that, which I'm learning, even though I know about this for a while, and I remember you said, I don't know, a week or two ago, how people fall off for after football, on the Patreon, and I don't understand why. Because in my opinion, March Madness is the best for any kind of sports gambling. That's just my opinion. And then of course,
I think we're locked in on the March Madness this year too. So
then you got the Kentucky Derby where I did very well.
baseball, we kill baseball every year, but it's just because people are addicted to football. And it's just like a lot of these guys, they won't bet hockey, even though we crush hockey almost every day because they don't want to watch hockey. And I keep saying, why are you guys betting on what you're watching? What do you feel like watching is changing the outcome? Bet on the games that we're winning on. It's hard. I don't want to be mean to them.
I got you. So look, I think what's going on, and I'm just learning about this, okay? And I know this is going to sound a little woo-woo, but I really do believe that there's different brain waves, okay? I know this sounds crazy, but I feel like most people are using their beta because I really do believe the brain transmits and receives. Okay, this, like I said, this stuff I'm starting to learn about from Kevin Trudeau and stuff. But if you get your brain into like an alpha or theta, it's kind of it's just better. But the majority of people are in the beta wave, brain waves. Like I said, I know it sounds woo woo, but there's got to be a reason why it just seems like so many people, including the guy that called earlier about the Pope and all that, it's like people are asleep, and no matter what you do to wake the majority of, I mean, people are waking up, but it just people are like brain dead,
Yeah.
and
That's it. That's what I've noticed my whole life. I mean, even before I woke up to all this, I just realized kind of everybody's kind of brain dead. I saw that as a student having to be in slave school. I was like, what's wrong with my peers? Like, this shit's too easy, and they're struggling, and they don't know the answer. And this,
I am happy that you gave them 15, 30 seconds, but all the time in the world is not going to change that guy. And
That's why I always say, no, I'm not, you guys, I'm not joking. Like, if you gave me the keys to the nuclear arsenal, I would start bombing. Most people belong in the wood chipper. I know how dumb and worthless the average person is in the U.S. They belong in the bottom of the sea, and it's not a false statement. These people have been cultivated worthless trash. They are here to just walk along like zombies, do their slave grind, participate in all the bullshit, and cheer on this evil that rules over us. The average intelligence in this nation is so low, and the people just suck. I mean, look at the average person. They worship a guy like Trump, literally a human piece of shit, and they hate on a guy like me who's given them the knowledge to free themselves from this matrix. Tim, did you not use this knowledge to get your first house?
Yeah, I got. I'm in Hutchinson, Kansas, and a little town in Ecuador. So I mean, a farm there, and yeah, it just.
Everybody could be doing the same thing, but because the average person is such a moron, like the guy you call him, like, "Who are you?" or "What's the Pope got?" and then he can't even listen. You get into 5 words to explain to him, he's already cutting. It's just like, dude, I wish I could just stick. I wish I could just attach an anchor weight and just drop him in the Atlantic and think I did a good deed today. I got rid of one more worthless piece of shit, but unfortunately, I can't. So anyway.
That's all I got on my notes though, because I have to write everything down or I'll forget when I call you. Yeah, so I just observed today. I saw all the numbers, and I was just laughing when I saw a 19 scored for Seattle. That was just like, because I don't follow I haven't watched one game of football. I don't watch, I know it's all rigged and scripted, and if you can't see that, then you shouldn't be gambling. But it's just so obvious. And earlier when you talked about the 2-1, I was just like, duh. Oh my God. I couldn't even, you also have the 12, but you also have the 2 seed versus the 1 seed. I
literally used to have a t-shirt. Unfortunately, my wife got rid of all my good shirts, but I used to have a t-shirt with the printout with Russell Wilson with all the stats about how many 21s there were on that play where he didn't hand off and he threw the interception, and how we get it 11 years later.
I know, right? 21 seconds left. He threw it to 21, and it was on 2-1 February.
It was Brady's 21st postseason game. 6th triangular number, his 6th Super Bowl. And I made a big deal about that last week at halftime when Brady was smirking and talking about Super Bowl 49 while the score was 24-6 because the Seahawks lost with 24 points in his 6th Super Bowl.
I also see the strongest narrative for the 41st win, but I also see the payback. If the Seattle were to win it, so it's again, I see it. I don't know. We have 2 weeks to figure that one out, but you always do so good at the Super Bowl, and I love it. I've told you this before. I absolutely love it when the Super Bowl is going on, you live stream, and you are the commentary, because that is gold. And you've done it a couple times where the game's going on, and you're like John Madden, if you will, or whoever. I don't even know who does the commentaries nowadays. But when it's you, 3rd and 5, and then they're flashing a number on the. I would buy every Super Bowl that's that you commentated on. Get rid of all the people with the suits that are telling you to bet the wrong way, and then put you as the audio. That would be.
Oh yeah, by the way, ESPN brought out the amazing magician again and got everybody on the Broncos and the Rams. He told everybody, "Look at my amazing magic performance for TV." And guess what? I got the Super Bowl winner, Broncos and Rams, and I bet a bunch of morons voted for it again. They used him before Super Bowl 57, and he guaranteed the Eagles were going to beat the Chiefs. We knew the Eagles didn't have a shot in that Super Bowl. They had 0 chance. They brought back that same guy, and I think it worked on a lot of people in my community because I had my whole, half my community that wanted to bet on that Super Bowl day, and I was like, that's the one that makes the least sense, you guys. Come on, man.
Yeah, if you go opposite of what the guys in suits tell you to bet on ESPN, you'll win more than you'll lose.
Shout out to Matt. Yeah, I will be streaming the Super Bowl again. I might
Yay.
have some interruptions with Sweet Girl, but I'll
Yay.
be streaming the Super Bowl on Patreon. I might not do it on the dollar tier though, because a lot of that knowledge is valuable. I might make you guys charge a little bit more this year. I think it might. I think I'll stream the Super Bowl on the $5 tier this year for anybody who wants to get their feet wet. But yeah, they do throw out a lot of gems if you're paying attention on the screen. That's why all of you guys who are in the States where you can bet real time with the apps, you guys have a huge advantage.
I'll just leave with this. Like I said, after the Super Bowl, there's, like you said, baseball, Kentucky Derby, March Madness. It
never stops. There's events all year.
I mean, yeah.
I don't do tennis tournaments and stuff. I mean, you can take advantage of the tennis tournaments. All this stuff can be taken advantage of.
I'll probably call in for all. I did look at the prep race yesterday. It was out over in Dubai, and the bigger prep races are coming up though, like the ones with more points for the Derby points. So I'll definitely be tracking all that.
And by the way, last year when we hit the Derby again, it wasn't about gematria. It was just about recognizing what day the horse was born and what its name was.
Right.
Again, the horse that won the Derby last year was Sovereignty. And what day was it born? It just happened to be born the day that Russia went into Ukraine, threatening their sovereignty. And well, I guess the gematria piece that we know is they call that the Run for the Roses, which is 201. Just like when Russia went into Ukraine, it was a 201 ritual. And where do they run the Kentucky Derby at? Church Hill Downs, like the Catholic Church on Seven Hills. Again, for the moron who called in earlier, like, what's the Pope got to do with it? Everything, you fucking moron. The whole world's scripted around the Pope, you fucking retard. And sorry for my 15-year-old neighbor, but that is the problem with these idiots who can't even listen.
The Derby is on 5-2. I don't know if that means anything right now.
Of course it does. Of course it does. I mean, doesn't the damn Kentucky Derby equal 52? I'm thinking that that's the 52. It's not Kentucky Derby, but it's something else.
Run for the Roses, Churchill Downs. I don't know.
It's something. I'm rusty. I'll look at my notes, but there's something about 52. Of course, that's the big Pope number. So.
Yeah, or it could be written 2-5.
Yeah.
2nd of May.
The other Pope number, 52 and 25.
Yeah.
All right, Tim. Well, it'll be here before you know it.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, we'll see if we can hit the Masters again. We've hit 6 of the last 7 before the tournament began. We'll see if we can. But I'm this year's the number 90, and there's only one. Yeah, the 90. I'm not sure I'm going to do it this year because I only know a little about the number 90. We'll see what they do. Maybe there'll be a nice 11 alignment, but we'll be trying to hit 7 of the last 8 Masters this year. And again, for Lou, hey, have you ever seen anybody call 6 of the last 7 Masters before it began? Last year was the easiest one ever because it was the 89th Masters. And Rory McIlroy was 35, and he could hit the career Grand Slam by winning. And sure enough, that's exactly what he did. He got the career Grand Slam at the 89th Masters at age 35. The year before that, Scotty Scheffler won the 88th. The year before that was the Italian guy, or Spaniard. And every year that the Masters has fallen on Seve Ballesteros' birthday, a Spaniard's won it. Again, there's just little tricks of the trade. But anyway.
I'm leaving, but look at your super chat. Somebody gave you a little.
Yeah, that's Matt. He's a big tipper. He loves to chase the dogs. I hope he won today. I have a feeling, though, he was chasing the Broncos. I hope not. All right. Thanks, Tim. What up, Trav? Ain't sleep.
How you doing, Zach?
What's up, man?
It's pretty good. Just a few thoughts for you. I just any people who doubt this knowledge, I just want to ask you, after a day like today, how could you doubt this knowledge? It's just, it is just plain in your face. Literally, I just, since 2020, as soon as I found your work, it was just, it didn't take but 20 minutes of listening to your video to understand of how things were rigged. And immediately,
just think about this right here. Just simple things too, you guys. Last week, the Seahawks blow out the 49ers 6-41. This week, the Rams get their 641st franchise loss. Just think about that.
Yeah. And then also the number 12 with that going on, and then oh, it's been 12 years since the Seahawks have went to the Super Bowl, and it's been at the number 12, and then also just all these, you know, they thems that you see in Seattle. And
If they threw that out that it's been 12 years, sometimes you'll see ESPN putting out false stats just to add a number. It's actually been 11 years since the Seahawks last went to the Super Bowl, but they won it 12 years ago.
yes, technically it was the 2013-2014 season, but technically
48-49. They won 48 and they lost 49. So
yeah, against, and that was crazy. I was watching it firsthand whenever I watched that happen, the 21 ritual. But and then another thing, I just the thing is that, you know, the thing is that as soon as I found your knowledge, it immediately, like, it was like a switch from, like, man, I'm so invested into NFL, into, like, wow, like, holy moly, this is completely rigged. Like, I was 17, 18 years old. I've told you that before. Like, I was very young. So since I was 17, 18 years old, I've known that it was just completely rigged. And, you know, I'm not emotionally invested into it like I was when I was younger. You know, it just how can you be emotionally invested into it? And also, I use, like, the way that they use these betting lines. For example, when you see a player that does 2 assists for, you know, 5 games in a row, and then they put him at a 5.5, you know, parlay or whatever, you know, you smash that over because they're expecting you to smash the under. You know, you smash that over because most of the time he's gonna go over because the bettors are expecting you to put the under. It's just they try to play a mind game, and you got to figure that mind game out. And a lot of people don't process that, and they just, oh, I lost a few bets, and so yeah, gematria sucks. No, bro, you got to fucking do the work and outsmart these motherfuckers, because these are the people who are trying to steal your money from you. So you place a $10 parlay, 3 pick, and you win $40, and you just keep stacking that up, and you just keep stacking that up to eventually 120, you know, 200, 250, pull that out, and you got, you know, a week's worth of bills for whatever, you know, you got to pay, PG&E bill, whatever it is, you know. But I'm just saying, man, people make it more complicated than it has to be. And just fucking do the research, man, you know.
Indeed. Well, keep it up, man. I'm glad you're in the community. Thanks
Yeah,
for
one more thing. I just want, before I go, I just want to say, just the Chiefs. They're supposed to be drafting Jeremiah Love. It's their projected pick. He supposedly has a special disability. And I just want to throw this out there. Jamal Charles, the Chiefs' best running back of all time. Supposedly he was in the Special Olympics. He had a disability. So yeah, just want to throw that out there. I think that there could be a possible connection with the Chiefs drafting Jeremiah Love with the 9th pick. So yeah, but anyways, man, thanks for letting me call in. We'll talk soon.
All right, man. Sounds good. You have a good night.
All right, bye.
All right, Tracy, you're on. Can she hear me? Tracy, hello?
I didn't know I was on.
You're
Hello.
on.
Oh,
Hello.
sorry. Just a second.
I think she's watching through the TV. If you're watching
I was just
the TV, Tracy, there's going to be a delay. You just want to talk right through the StreamYard.
Your thing. I didn't expect to be on the TV.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you want to
I
share?
was just talking. I just wanted to say thank you for being who you are, and
you're welcome.
I'm a Seahawk fan. Good grief.
She's on the StreamYard. You're on StreamYard, but you're watching through the TV, which is on a delay. Yeah. If you guys come on here, you want to close your YouTube and just talk through the StreamYard. That's what she's missing out on.
Sorry.
That's okay. Well, Tracy, maybe you'll catch on the delay, but
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Tracy. You have a good night. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult. She's doing better than my mom would have done. Well, what's up, Dave?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
Yeah. How you doing?
Know, Well, not too bad. I chose wrong in the first game. But anyway, with all that 107 we talked about, how, we didn't speak of the score.
Like a guess at we did talk a lot about the 107 to guess that the score could have been 10-7.
Yeah.
Well, we should have. I even brought up in yesterday's stream how the Broncos had that 10-7 score to start week 10.
Yeah, because whenever, I called about Netanyahu and Afghanistan and,
And coach who died, Dick Geron, his birthday is 10-7. Died in Michigan
wow,
the year to the day of the Super Bowl.
What a mistake.
Yeah.
But
that was the exact score. The clue was there.
Did you already mention that it was 58 points and Super Bowl 58 went in 19-19 overtime?
Yeah, that was between the Niners and the Chiefs. I think the 58 here is about Pope Leo, don't you?
Yeah, but the Seahawks also became 19-19 in the playoffs, and that was Super Bowl 58. When it went into overtime.
That's true. That's a good point.
I don't want to give too much, but you know what number I'm following now. So I think we got to find that specific number. I think you know what I'm talking about, but it'll be for the people that pay.
Okay. Well, I know what number normally wins in the Super Bowl, and that's why I was trying to get you on the Patriots today. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I should have snapped about the 10-7 and just went with the spread, but the John Elway stuff got me. That's what got me.
Yeah. John Elway is from Washington State. His Broncos go down 10-7, and then just across the peninsula, Seattle, not far from where John Elway grew up, wins it. Seattle 107.
Okay. But just to mention that could be that number I'm talking about could be the difference. You know how the Eagles won by 18 last year, so we'll have to keep that in mind as well.
Yeah. Just so you guys know, the year of the horse is not going to be for this year's Super Bowl or next year's Super Bowl. It starts on Jordan's birthday, February 17th, and it ends right before the Super Bowl starts next year. I mean, the majority of the season's in the year of the horse, but just so you guys know, the Super Bowl is not in the year of the horse. And if that does impact the Broncos next year, if you guys look, all of the year of the horse Super Bowls that the Broncos ever appeared in, they lost them all. They never won in the year of the horse. They always lost.
Okay. Yeah, something to keep in mind.
All right.
Appreciate you, Zach.
All right. Take care.
I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Good night.
All right. Take care, Dave. All right. Sounds like you got it back. Dave normally has the right pick, but he was really just adamant about the Broncos today. And I was like, Dave, come on, man. We documented in season. The Patriots had the best in-season ritual for the Super Bowl. We got somebody in the back. I'm not sure if it's a troll pretending to be them or it is the real them, but I hope it is the real them because they learned this knowledge from me. They've made some money for it, and they've been a troll now for a few years if it's the real one. Is it the real Luxy 91? It must not be, but yeah, there's some weird people out there. They learned this knowledge, they've enhanced their life, and then they became trolls. I mean, let's talk about ungrateful. Let me see if Raz figured it out. What's up, Raz Lion?
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Hello?
Is this guy playing with us tonight, man?
Bullshit.
Raz Lion, just talk. Talk.
I can't hear.
Talk. I know you can't hear me. Just talk.
You.
Oh my god. You got to give him an A for effort. He keeps coming back. He says, I don't know why we can't get him to say something.
Nah. The fuck.
That's the new way to spell want. Will not.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought I could hear you too. All right, cool. So I'm just here to give you your flowers, man. Honestly, I've followed you for about 10 years now, And you open my eyes about rig sports. I was a big sports fanatic. It used to, control me. They used to harvest my energy when it came to the sports. And then I found your page, and since day one, it's been undeniable. And I follow not only what you do, with sports, but your other pages. I've seen you out there pounding the pavement. And I just want to say salute to you, man. I respect you. And I know I've been on your streams multiple times where I could tell that you've been frustrated because you don't get the credit that you actually deserve. um and you're only human, so it's natural that a person will feel like that. But sometimes you need to hear this from outside source. So this is what I'm here for. This is strictly what I'm here for, to provide you with that. I don't know if you need that necessary encouragement, because you stay consistent with what you do, and you've been doing that for over a decade now. But I'm here to give it to you, man, because you not only changed my life. I used to just, nothing was going right in my life, and sports was the only thing to where it would dictate how I acted, how I treated people around me. From any type of sport, to football, to basketball, anything. Because I grew up playing football. I played football at a high level. My family played it, so it's in my DNA. It's embedded in me. For you to be able to break that, that spell, that cycle for me, it's priceless. And I support you, man. I'm just embedded in gratitude when it comes to what you do each and every day. you know, um, not only for sports, but like I said, for everything, man. And, I got to join the Patreon, and stuff, and benefit off of it. But, for me personally, it's not even about that. It's really about, waking people up. You embody everything that I stand for when it comes to, being united, instead of being divided, and on a way bigger scale than sports, just life. And, our rights when it comes to our constitutional rights, and, what goes on. And I want to show people so much of your work, and, they're even skeptics before I do it. But when I show them your videos, it's undeniable, and even they look at me with that, that look on their face, like, yeah, I'm trying to tell you, man, it's real. So I'm just here to, tell you that I appreciate everything you have done for the years that you have done it. It doesn't go unnoticed. Keep going for the times that you feel like, damn, fuck this, man. Excuse my language, I don't want to get you in trouble. I just, sometimes, I might want to stop or whatever. I don't know if you feel those feelings, but I'm just here to basically, speak for everyone that's follow you consistently and shout you out like you are, you the man, son. You really are, and keep doing what you're doing, keep putting people on. You are truly embedded, in your true purpose and what you was created for and sent here to do. Is to bring together, and shed light on the darkness that is upon, this realm that we in. And I just fully salute you, man. And I will continue to salute you and support you in every way that I possibly can. So wholeheartedly, I thank you for what you've done for me personally, but on a bigger scale, what you do for humanity in general. So I thank you, man, for sure.
He can't hear me, unfortunately, but I do appreciate that. I wish more people felt
Yeah,
like
I
Ram
can't
Line.
hear you, but I see you giving me the thumbs up and the peace. Yeah, for sure, man. Yo, you the truth, man. For real, man. Ain't too many built like you. You my cosmic brother, man. We aligned in the same, type of frequency and vibration, and vibrating at the same type of frequency, And I know it could be frustrating, man, trying to, communicating to these low vibrational people. Some people are, never gonna get it. Some people, it ain't their fault, and that's the people that we trying to, kind of, wake up and open their eyes to, so that we can, recruit them to the army per se, or so we that so we can gain more, more traction in this fight, against this evilness, that goes on, more than sports and deeper. So, it's real, man. And I support you. You changed my life. You gave me my sanity back. You gave me my freedom, my emotion back, and you allowed me to really see, not only what's in sports, but what's in everything else, shortly, basically, long story short, you opened my eyes for sure, man. So I appreciate you. I'm good. That's all I got to say. Keep doing your thing, and I support you, man. You the truth.
Thank you. All right. I appreciate that a lot. I wish more people felt that way. But yeah, I mean, YouTube does make this channel look super underappreciated at this point. It's just super shadow banned, taking away likes. You see, like, some troll puts up some trash video or just doing nothing but creating division in society. It's got like 50,000 likes. Here we are putting out the message that could actually get people on the right path. Video's got no views, no likes. You're like, look at this. I mean, what? Yeah, I feel like quitting every day, but you just can't quit because then you've lost. We got GMG back, then Matthew, then Spam Wave. And thanks again, Raz Lion. What's up, GMG?
What's up, Zach? I just wanted to say, I wanted to apologize that, I don't want to come off like I'm
No, you don't
somebody
need to
that's
apologize. You don't need to apologize. It's not that big a deal, but he did make a fair point. Just like be
not.
real careful what you say to people because some people are just looking for a reason not to listen to anything.
No. I understand that 100%. But yeah, I just misworded calling it fake ice. I just know that there's a lot of weather manipulation going on
I thought that's what you really meant. Yeah.
because I live in LA and I live like I live like I don't want to drop my exact location
Don't.
online, but I seen the fires that happened in the beginning of last year, like up close what happened. And one thing I'll say is a day before the fires happened, mind you, like all week, 2 weeks straight, sun is out every day. I'm in LA, sun is out every day. The day before the fires happened, Zach, I promise you, it was like this crazy windstorm. And the day before that windstorm happened, I don't even know if we could say it on here, but them trails were going crazy in the sky, going crazy in the sky.
Yeah, it's just
Mm.
like people down south with all the ice are saying they've been doing the same thing down there. And the other year when it froze over crazy in Dallas and in southern Texas all the way down to Houston, same type of report. And yeah, weather modification, weather warfare, it's a real thing, you guys. I mean, the U.S. military has been researching weather as a weapon for the better part of the last century. Lyndon Johnson said in the 60s, who controls the weather controls the world. And he said there will be a weather satellite in the future to control the world's cloud layer. So, again, to act like this stuff, that's what's annoying. It's like we're showing stuff that's really based in history. And then you got these people who don't want to know anything that just mock it, like, what? Can't even. It's annoying, and you know what? Maybe they'll wake up the day their house burns down, or they get frozen to death, or their power's out, and they got to freeze their ass off for a week, like people did in Texas and Georgia and Portland, Oregon, like when they did this the other year. And don't forget, you guys, we don't just call sports games. The last time that we had this crazy ice over, what was that, in 2021? We had that circled for that exact time period for crazy weather and power outages like that because it was synced up with Klaus Schwab, the leader of the World Economic Forum, who dropped some clue about it in the months earlier. And people didn't get the joke, but he was talking about how we need this great reset to undo carbon emissions. And what's the biggest refining city in the U.S.? Houston. Houston was frozen over in that storm since when?
Mm-hmm.
Again, that shows you how powerful their weather manipulation is. By the way, my favorite author, Kurt Vonnegut, his brother Bernard Vonnegut, who discovered cloud seeding, he wrote the book Cat's Cradle about how these scientists, as crazy as they are with their weather manipulation, can destroy the world. I just showed how the thing you wrote about, Ice 9, Look at this, you guys. Ice, not, let me just pull up the damn post. The country iced over while the week we get the ICE raids news that ICE can raid people's homes without a warrant. Goodbye, Constitution. Look at this. Look at the way this lines up with Kurt Vonnegut, one of the most famous authors in American history, who wrote this book about this warning about Ice 9. From his damn death anniversary to the start of this winter storm, Friday, January 23rd, exactly 41 weeks, and Ice 9 equals 41, what he called the book, what he called this military weapon that could destroy the earth. Again, this stuff's not an accident, you guys. It's about, this knowledge is about more than just rig sports. It's about what is actually going on in this damn world. And Kurt Vonnegut probably went about things more the right way than I did, because he didn't talk about things in a nonfiction sense. He turned reality into fiction because he knew that would make more people listen to the kind of ideas he was trying to convey. I keep thinking maybe that's what I need to do with this work, is figure out how to make it more fiction, even though it's not really fiction. Still talking about real things just like he did.
But that was one I wanted to say because I do feel like sometimes in this, like, I came across your work when Kobe died, and like I said, I'm from LA, and that was just I'll never forget that day. That was like the craziest day ever. And I came across your work probably like 3 days after that. And I just started watching your videos, and I had one of my homies right there with me, and I showed it to him, and like one of your videos, bro, it low key had us in tears the first time, like coming across this, because we felt like we knew you was right, but we were like, what? Like, it was crazy. But I'll say that, like, since then I followed your work, and I've shown other people, and some people, oh, I guess think you're crazy, and some people. But one thing I want to tell people is, like, don't let none of that, like, I don't let none of that bother me at all. Like, I see, like, the knowledge I learned, and I thank you for, spreading this information, because what I've learned has shown me just how, like, I hate to say it, but how dumb I see most people are. So it's never an insecurity for me to feel like this person doesn't understand this, because I'm like, bro, it's expected the way I see people move. Like, I'm in the world, and I know what's going on. Like, I don't want to, say too much, but I know that, like, people shouldn't feel down. Yeah, I called it fake ice, but like, and then you'll say, someone might think that that's why people don't understand this information. It's like, no, they don't understand this information because they don't want to. Trust me, I know people that I went to school with. Like, these are smart, educated people, but sometimes when you show them this information, even if they don't want to, like, but a lot of people, that's the real truth that they don't want to come to. It's hard to come to that. When I came across it, I wasn't even looking for your videos or looking for no Kobe Bryant death conspiracies. It just popped up on my timeline, and I'll just start
And that's
watching
why I
it.
don't pop up hardly on anybody's timeline anymore. I haven't been able to get any views since Kobe Bryant died. That was 6 years ago now, man. We've been in algorithm hell. Of course, I've lost 3 or 4 channels since Kobe died. I've lost 25 channels to date.
Yeah, and I
They know
seen
that
that.
Kobe information woke up a lot of people, and we've been buried ever since because of it. They don't want it to happen again.
Yeah,
GMG, I
and
got to let a
because
couple more people get in here, and then I got to go to bed because I've been up since about 3:30 this morning, and my daughter will be up in a minute, and then I'll be up for a while again. So I don't get enough sleep as is. I do got to wrap it up soon. But
no
hey,
problem, no
I
problem.
appreciate you sharing this knowledge with people, and being another young person in the community. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, you have a good night. Hey, we got Matthew and then Spam Wave. What's up, Matthew?
Hey, what's up, Zach? I just wanted to make a few observations. It's nothing as far as like what we talk about for the paid streams, but it's just about the development, what happened in the playoffs. So I found it interesting that the Seattle Seahawks, right? They beat what was it? It was the 6th seed 49ers on January 17th, right? And now they're going to be in the Super Bowl at Super Bowl 60, playing in the 49ers.
And remember, they put up 41, didn't they? They put up 41 versus the 49ers, the classic Super Bowl number.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And I believe was that 41-6, right?
4-1-6.
Yep. 4-1-6.
Or 6-41, just like how tonight the Rams got the 641st franchise loss versus the Seahawks.
Interesting. This is 47-point total. Okay. So yeah, so I thought that was interesting, right? And then like if you go ahead and check, so we know that this is the rematch, right? If you put in the date from the actual Super Bowl 49 to the date of the Super Bowl, guess what? It's 11 years and 7 days exactly. And the reason why I found that interesting is because it's also going to be 117 days before Sam Darnold's birthday, that day of the Super Bowl. So both of those numbers sync with each other. I was like,
today was 131 days from his birthday, like Super Bowl's 131.
Yeah. So come the Super Bowl, it's going to be 117 because you subtract 14 days. So it's crazy, man. Like it's I like I said, I'm not going to say anything now. I'm going to wait till the page stream, but just the development of how everything went down, and then the fact that Bo Nix got injured on the 17th, right? And then they they beat the Broncos with 17-point total. It's insane, man. It's insane how they set all this up, you know.
It is.
Yeah. And I just wanted to make a quick statement. I understand that some people in the community have been getting frustrated with trying to explain this work to certain people. I found myself as well getting frustrated. One thing that I kind of had to understand is that the cabal, elite, whatever you want to call these people, they've had centuries upon centuries of brainwashing amongst the masses. So it's kind of crazy for us to think that we can change minds in just such a short time.
They literally put us in our for a lot of us, we started in their brainwashing schools at age 5 or 6. And
exactly.
That's what again, it's the Ignatius of Loyola quote, the leader of the Jesuits, who also Aristotle's the one who first said it, but show me the child and I'll show you the adult, essentially. And it means if they can have the child, they can raise them and know what the outcome's going to be. And you look, that's why almost everybody's like this cookie cutter person with the same thoughts and ideas and ambitions. And again, you present this information 9 out of 10 times, a lot of people just have that same deer in the headlights look. And
yeah, no, and and you know, I understand some people say, well, I don't get it, Zach. Why do you keep going? It's like, well, you know, repetition is the father of learning. So it's like, you know, there's going to be some people that just, like you said, you just won't be able to get through.
Well, that's part of it too. But also look what I said when I got here 13 years ago. I said, they're building a police surveillance state, you guys. And if we don't wake up and stop it, we're going to be living in something a million times worse than George Orwell's 1984. And I mean, you can tell I'm not wrong because you just saw what happened when Trump took office. He had all the billionaires behind him when Larry Ellison was the most outspoken. And just a few months prior to that, he'd said he wants an America where everybody has to wear a camera at all times.
Yeah.
And you look at what's going on with National Guard and federal police and all this shit going on. You can't see the writing. Again, you guys, I live in this tiny town of 4,000 people. October, the year before last, October 1st, they put up 8 police cameras for the first time. And they just happened to put 2 of the 8 facing 2 of my property. I only have 2 properties in this town, but they just happened to put 2 of the 8 cameras up facing at my homes. The only 2 homes I have in this town. You don't think that's weird? And I've had that. Again, you guys, again, it's going to be the worst for people like me in the future when they go to the next phase of things. But yeah, that's also part of why I speak out. I speak out while I still can. I said that back in 2013 when I started. I said, you know what? YouTube just did a huge wave of censorship for all the people who don't like pokey dokes who were questioning Mercury and stuff. I said, you better start speaking out before you can't talk about the next subject. And then, you know, I mean, we haven't been able to talk about all kinds of things, but you just keep coming back anyway. So.
Yeah, no, and like I said, not to get long-winded, but like it gets to a point where some people are kind of just like, it's beyond cognitive dissonance. It's like just, you know, nihilism. It's like, okay, well, we're all just gonna, you know, work until we die, and that's just life. And I'm just like, what? Like, you accept that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that we.
Well, I know that you're right. That's why a lot of times I'll rant and say, like, I wish we did live in the Wild West. I'd be collecting people's ears. I'd be like, yeah, I took out another piece of shit today. You said the wrong thing to me. So I got a lot of ammo in my backpack, man.
I hear that, man. I hear that. But yeah, like I said, man, that's just my little observations that 117. I'm gonna dig into that number a little bit more. There has to be something there. I don't know what, but yeah, that's all I have for you tonight, man. And yeah, I real quick, you're right. I was on the Broncos like an idiot. Mike, you're not the only one. But excuse me, I said Mike. Dave, you're not the only one. But I did hit a 4 parlay touchdown parlay. It was Puka, Cup.
Boom.
I had Kenneth Walker, and then I also had what's his name? What is homeboy? The Bobo dude. And the only reason why I put him in,
you should have called in. How did I'm so mad that I forgot about number 19, Bobo.
Well, it was what you said a week ago. You said sometimes, guys, that it may not be like exact numbers. It could just be the fact that, hey, it's Seattle.
Well,
and
that was
19.
exactly with 19 weeks after the Pope's birthday, with all this 19 on the line. I mean, that doesn't make too much damn sense.
Yeah, like even my brain's already churning because I was
first
just thinking.
Big play of the day was the backup receiver for the Broncos, number 19, on a 52-yard gain when Pope's 52. And that's why I put out that free video for people. I said, oh, there's a sign about 19 in the Pope today.
Yeah. And with your logic with the 19 stuff, you got to figure, right? Seattle's in the Super Bowl. They got to pay some kind of tribute to COVID. There has to be. In this game, there has to be. I just don't know what it is, but it has to be. So yeah, but that's all my thoughts, man. I'm gonna let somebody else get on.
All right, Matt. Glad you won, but sometimes I do respect the chase and the dogs thing, but go after the better dogs. Did you bet on the Raptors to win today?
Yeah, I did have the Raptors.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that
because
was
that one day you were chasing the team going against you. The one day that you went against the 31 in the Steelers game, you should have been on those two big dogs in the NBA. I mean, we can't go back in time, but those, what was it? Utah was a 14.5 point dog with a lights out narrative. And it was something about the Kings and.
Yeah.
Oh, wasn't that the 23 patch? That's what it was. They were the Kings with keeping LeBron on 23 wins. That's what it was.
Yeah, no, I got a real good dog for you tomorrow. I can't wait to call in because it's to us it's Kobe Day, which is a holiday. I know it's fucked up because it's the day he died, but
there's going to be so many tributes to Kobe.
You already know. Oh, I'm drooling. I can't wait. So I'm gonna call you tomorrow, brother.
All right,
my man.
All right, take care.
Peace.
And the way Matt bets, maybe keep your best ideas to yourself. Matt likes to bet a lot of money. He's got a nice bankroll, but Matt's not into my $5-10 a day. Matt's like, I'm pulling out 1,000. What's up, Spam Wave?
Hey man, what's up? So I can you share my screen?
Let me see.
I found some pretty interesting articles. So this wasn't with the help of AI. This is just me. So Jesuits invest in corporation. This is from the Jesuits official website, by the way. This is here's the link in the private chat. Jesuits invest in corporations, fight for better business practices from the inside. Working through shareholder activism, the Jesuits West Province recently helped pass a shareholder resolution to hold Geo Group, one of the largest for-profit prison and detention centers operators in the U.S., accountable for human rights and treatment of detainees. Working in partnership with investors and members of the Interfaith Center on Corporate Responsibility, the Jesuits requested that GEO report annually on how it implements its human rights policies in its facilities, which includes 69 in the United States. Jesuits West was one of a number of religious organizations that bought a small number of shares in GEO 9 years ago with the intention of influencing corporate policy and standards, a tactic known as shareholder activism. The passing of the resolution for GEO is just one example of how shareholder activism can be used as a powerful tool in the society's social justice work. Here, Pat Zerriga, a member of the board of directors of ICCR, with Nick Napolitano, chair of the Jesuit Committee on Investment Responsibility, explain more about shareholder advocacy. So you can, let me show this bigger. So this is the graph that they put. ICCR's model of shareholder advocacy. Community raises concerns about corporate impacts. Community brings its concerns to ICCR. ICCR members bring the issue of the attention managers, concerned investors. Parties collaborate to find effective solutions. Risks to community, company, and shareholders are mitigated. In a sentence or two, what is shareholder advocacy exactly? Shareholder advocacy uses the investment of the Jesuit provinces to promote changes in corporate practices to work towards social and economic justice. Oh, so like what BlackRock does, a sustainable earth and for the common good. And that's interesting that they have their own central bank. That's pretty convenient when you're, investing in companies to control. But yeah, what different strategies are involved? Engagement can range from signing on to letters from the faith community to filing resolutions, attending annual.
Pause real quick. Leonardo DiCaprio has that movie with Tom Hanks, supposedly based on a true story, Catch Me If You Can. And there's that scene where he's the ultimate. Have you seen Catch Me If You Can?
I don't think so.
Oh well,
Wait, no, maybe I have. Yeah, I think I have.
When Tom Hanks busts him, he's in apartment 201, but he escapes.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
But yeah, he's con man. He figures out how to fake currency and print fake money and fake checks and everything. Again, you guys, we live in this age of like monopoly money, and imagine if you do have access to a central bank like the Vatican does. Who's to say you're not printing just buku money and just buying up way more? I mean, I think this is what's going on in the world.
Yeah,
I've always shown how the Jesuits are the ones manipulating the market because it's all synced with the Pope and the Superior General when you follow this stuff. So anyway, we don't need to go into greater detail, but yeah, you're making the point. And again, there's just so many things in this world that people really need to think about.
Yeah, most dollars are digital dollars. They say that that like crypto is digital, but really the dollar's already been digital. Like it's already been tokenized. I think back in the 90s with like the credit cards, all that stuff's all digital money. But something I wanted to bring up was you were talking about wanting to do a Gematria game. I finally like thought of ideas, and I think I can do one for sure if you want to talk about that. But I had some ideas.
You don't need to do it through me. Why don't you do it?
Well, I need money to do it.
Okay, you need an investor. Okay, well, I can help you out in that way. Okay.
Yeah.
You got to follow through.
Oh yeah, I can follow through by like the end of the month. I want to make like 3 games. I thought of some ideas. So I thought of a mechanic that that the enemies have a certain number, and you have to type in a word that equals the number that is on them to kill them. And I was also thinking about doing like a puzzle game where you have to like find the murderer, and the way that you do complete some of the puzzles is by you go into the newspaper, and the top headline has an emphasized word, and at the top right there's a like a little calculator that you can put in the word, and then it'll give you the value in the 2 base ciphers, and then sometimes it'll give you the other 2 ciphers. But what was I had talked to Gemini about it too, because I wanted to see what ideas it would come up with. And this is actually really interesting what it said here. So I told it, how could I use English Gematria like in a video game? And it said one of the ideas was the Wordsmith Dungeons RPG combat. In this concept, the power of your spells is determined by the weight of the words you type or find, which I was like, wait a second, that kind of sounds like Kabbalah. But this does sound like an interesting game too. But I just what it starts saying here sounds a lot to me like what's actually they believe in the spiritualities. So it says the twist: enemies have numerical shields. If an enemy has a shield of 54, you must cast a word that equals exactly 54, like voice or bowl, to shatter it. Strategy: players keep a mental or digital spell book of words categorized by their gematria sums. I think that we should put a calculator in there. That way people can start like getting used to decoding, and then they have access to it at the top right. And the other thing that I thought of was during the loading screen, like we could show like the decodes that you're doing, like whatever decode you did that day, like whatever's in the news, like while the game's loading, it's showing those decodes. I think that would be interesting too, especially because if people play the game, then they already understand like the concept and everything, and they'll be like, oh, that's interesting.
Oh, well, I've been thinking we need a game for a long time to introduce it to the younger ones. So, all right. We can talk more about this later.
But yeah, I'll let you get off because it's getting late. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I'll talk next time about this Jesuit corporate stuff because I want to get into that too. That's kind of interesting. But yeah, I want to get into like the 7 different aspects of power. So last time I was talking about how they influence the governments. This time I talked about how they're influencing corporations. Next time we're going to talk about like, religion, all like each domain of power that they're influencing. But yeah, anyways, yeah, thanks for having me on.
All right.
Yeah, today my camera didn't work today. I had to turn it off. I don't know what happened.
That's all right. All right, man.
All right. All right, bye.
See it. All right, we got Smacka. What's up, Smacka? Smacka, hello. All right, I just in case they're trolling, they're gonna like reveal their pants. We've had that happen to some streams in the past, and had some streams ruined because we had some loser show us their little wiener. Just in case, we'll just shut that one down. I do need to go to bed. I do need to go to bed. Again, congrats to the winners. Haters and trolls, you guys are shameful people. Yeah. The guy saying that I went 4-5 in hockey yesterday, stop it, man. We had a great day in hockey yesterday. Just stop it. Stop it. These liars. See, that's what I'm annoyed about, because it's so hard to convince people about this information because their mind's trained to just disregard it right away. And then if a new person comes along and all they see is the top like comments or what a troll network did, they're like, oh yeah, see, this must just all be some scam. It's like, no, the scam is the troll network that's here harassing all the time, lying about everything. So anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Again, congrats to the winners. Join us on Patreon. Yeah, I will be calling the Super Bowl. Historically, I've done it on the dollar tier. I think I'm going to have to do it on the $5 tier this year. We need more people supporting the work. Donating $5 a month to this work. There really should be a lot more people doing it. Again, there's not many people that can go out and speak on the streets, drop the knowledge like yours truly can. And there's not many people that have the work ethic of yours truly. I've been here every day for going on 13 years straight, you guys. There's only been one day where I didn't contribute new research to this work. And that reason I didn't is because I couldn't. My house got ransacked that day. My computer was stolen. Everything in the house was stolen, including a lot of cash, and a business was put out of business. That's the only day I didn't contribute a new video, blog post, and usually it's numerous of both of those things per day. One day in going on 13 years, I didn't contribute something to the mission. So been working hard over here, and sadly it hasn't paid off due to big tech. Well, it's paid off in certain ways. I mean, but it hasn't achieved what I wanted to, and that's mostly because of big tech, because of the censorship and mass deletions. But it does suck watching these shills and these channels that came out of nowhere get all this recognition, and they're not really doing anything. They're just contributing to the problems. We're over here, again, putting out the message that could unite humanity and help people get out of this spell. The gentleman who came on who couldn't hear me, what he said is really the way more people should be. He used to be sucked into the matrix of sports, and he realized it was draining his energy. Just like my dad. I can't pull my dad out of it. I mean, some days it seems like my dad gets it, but my dad, if the Yankees lose, Yankee, you should have seen it, the air he made. Oh my God, the base running. I'm just like, Dad, the shit is rigged, Dad. What is wrong with you? And my dad figured, you know, I got to close out with one thing, because it was 10 years ago that USA Today wrote their hit piece on me, because we nailed Super Bowl 50. In week 3, I had the correct both teams, who'd be the MVP, what the halftime show would be. We had it all figured out in week 3, right about all of it. That year, my dad, he wasn't into it until the AFC Championship. It was Broncos and Patriots that year, and he said, Zach, you're wrong. There's no way Peyton Manning will beat Brady. I said, it's a script. I said, he's going to beat him. Just watch. Ever since then, my dad doesn't argue with me. He's curious about it, but I still can't pull him out, because once baseball season comes around, man, Zach, you should have seen the base running air. I'm like, look at you. You're too old to be getting this mad about the damn baseball game. But he's like most men in this country. They're into sports. They let their sports team. My neighbor next door, since the Chargers lost, he's not. I mean, normally I see him outside. I haven't seen him outside the last 2 weeks. He bought a Chargers flag this year. He took it down after I haven't seen him outside for 2 weeks. And I know he says when his Chargers lose, he just feels so upset. Guy's like been camping out in his house for 2 weeks. But yeah, again, it's just everybody's letting all of this stuff that's meant to manipulate their energy. The sports, the news, the politics, and people should be outraged about the lie. You know, it's just your energy should be put to the right purpose. Ending this evil cabal, this rigging, this ritualistic murder. That's what it should be about. Not like, oh, my team lost. I can't believe the call they made. Yeah, exactly. You can't believe it because you know if you were the coach, you would have never done that, nor would anybody else who wanted to win the game. But not in the National Fix League. That's why these guys, and everyone should ask that too. First of all, if you watch these guys play, most of them don't deserve to get paid what they are because they're not that good. And I do think a lot of them are just following the script, and that's why they don't look as good as they should be. But I mean, I could find you probably a bunch of kids in Seattle that are a lot more likely to catch the ball than your typical NFL receiver. How many drops are there in an average NFL game from these guys that are paid millions? I used to play receiver. I didn't drop the ball. I never had grip gloves. I did not drop the ball. I heard footsteps coming. I didn't drop the ball. I braced for the hit. These guys should be a million times better than me in the NFL. But the National Fix League, it's just maddening watching it as an intelligent, pretty good athlete. And that's the way it should be for anybody else who's has a brain and knows how to play these games. These pro sports are a joke. All right, I'm out of here, you guys. Thanks again to everyone who hits the like and the share. Thanks to everyone who will support the Patreon. Links in the description, patreon.com/Zachary K. Hubbard. And until next time.